So here we are, friends. We are here. We have doused his meal and his wine with the goods. For those who remember last time, we are trying to ascend to being the the Duke of Mania. We're trying to succeed Thadon. And the way to do that is to kill him. However, this is the House of Mania. We're not all about brute forces. We're not about like brute displays of strength. We're not about just fucking murdering someone in cold blood. We're about being sneaky and being indulgent and being decadent. And we know that Thadon loves a particular kind of meal with a particular kind of wine, and he also loves a particular dosage of what can be described as cocaine laced Viagra. This green moat, the green moat that we all know and love. So typically he gets just a small dose, but we decided to overdose his food and wine with a bajillion doses of green moat to make his brain and also penis explode, and that should kill him. So once he sits down to eat, we'll witness how it all goes down, and I'm very excited about it. So it should happen about 8 p.m. Did I ever break character, Johnson? I think I did a pretty good job. I don't think I did. I think I did a pretty alright job of holding it together. There was the one moment where I was like, I had to like go back at one point because I was like, well,
all hail the victor of Sylar. All hail the great torch of
is that me? Probably not. Oh yeah, Sylar, and I think that is me. Yeah, I did that. Oh, I'm the right. I made the torch happen, right? Yeah. No, there was the one point where I had to go back because I was like, all right, I forgot I'm a dog, because we had that dog in the very start of the image, the very start of the presentation. Is it dinner time? We're right at 8. Let's fucking do it, homie. He's eating. He's eating with his hands. What a Neanderthal. Eating a nice dinner with his hands. I'm just staring at him awkwardly. And he's staring at me. This is such an awkward dinner. He's just He's just eating and we're just staring at each other. Can I like talk to him?
Ah, you again. A pleasure, I'm sure. No time for chatter now. I have a few important things to attend to. Or did I? Ah, well.
As we gaze lovingly into his eyes. So now, the chef is with us. Watch the effect of the green moat overdose. Let's see how it goes. Evening feast is underway. Why'd he get up?
Oh my, yes. I feel especially delighted this evening. Perhaps it's time I recited my latest soliloquy.
So I think we're seeing the effects right now.
The lady fair, our love is told, with hair as fine as soft spun gold, lips as red as a sun-drenched dawn, skin as soft as a newborn fawn, eyes as blue
You alright, buddy?
as a cerulean sea. What? My heart can't breathe. Help me.
The animations are... Is he cheering? Yay, he's dead! Why is he cheering? Why is he fist bumping? I thought they'd be all sad and scared. I should now collect as much of his tainted... Oh, right, the tainted blood. His drug-tainted blood. Right, I forgot that's part of the ritual. What'd you think about this? It's weird that you were cheering, like you were excited about this.
There's no need to mourn. The ritual has begun. Be happy.
Okay. So they see it as, yes, they recognize this is a ritual for a succession to be happening. I mean, it seems so, I don't know, arbitrary. It's like anybody could just decide, oh, yep, I want to be the Duke now. Time to like plot a way to murder them. So it's like there's it's almost like that episode of Futurama where they talk about all the different slime people that have ruled over the years, and like each person gets assassinated within like minutes of each other. Each generation.
Days be filled with enlightenment and mirth.
All right, sorry I murdered your husbando, White Eye. We okay, fam?
I never suspected it was Thadon's time, but what's done is done. I honor his choice.
Well, it wasn't his choice to overdose on the green moat, but we'll freaking take it. What's up, Rationalites? And Jim, good to see you, bud. Good to see you both.
Fire.
I like the weird looping of animations.
Will speak again.
All right, so she's sad, and the chef lad is very excited. Let's head back then to... Let's head back to, what's it called? I guess it's the church. The church kind of in the middle of the two areas. Rationalize, I love that Solar emote. I was hanging out in Alias' stream a little bit earlier today, and Solar popped in, and Solar was like, yeah, I haven't really been playing a lot of Noita lately, and Alias is like, yeah, he's been playing Skyrim, what a nerd. And I was like, wow, imagine playing an Elder Scrolls game. And I was like, wait a second. Because yeah, I know Solar's been on the Skyrim grind for a bit, which has been kind of fun, so... so it's like, we have all these Noita people that are branching out into some other weird shit lately. It's good though, it's good weird shit. Ardent Soul in the Seyselum, that's where we're going. And we'll cast some spells and have a good old time along the way. I don't think it really matters which one we choose, Crucible or Mania, it all leads to the same area. Oh man, one time I actually landed that pretty well and I was very excited about it. Yeah, the Seyselum's gonna be up here, or Seykellum. So here is where we need to be. I see that Sheogorath is present. Never noticed the butterflies before. It's kind of cool. In fact, were like the plants always here? I feel like this is kind of new. Potatoes are a vegetable. Yeah, we were talking about that at one point, Johnson, where potatoes are very much a vegetable. At one point, I wasn't sure if they were like fully. I mean, it makes sense they'd be classified as a vegetable, but I like wasn't sure if they were as nutritious as others, because they're very, very good and very starchy, but also very filling.
You have things to do. Talking to me isn't one of them.
But they are delicious. I am a big fan of taters.
We will speak.
Speak quickly.
Okay, I wasn't sure if anybody else has anything else. I think really we just talked to this fella.
Tidings and welcome. Happy times, happy days.
Because maybe we don't talk to anybody. Maybe we just perform the sacrament. Place the blood. I guess I just scooped the blood out of his body, like I just fucking gouged a bunch of it out. It's a pillar of fire. Cool trick with your walking cane. And there it is.
Once again has the ritual of accession come full circle. The blood of Thadon has been consumed by Arden Sul's will, and all of Mania welcomes you with open arms. I now declare you Duke of Mania of the Shivering Isles. May your light shine upon all our happiest days.
Fantastic. What's up, Amnesia? Definition isn't quite as hard said. But yeah, it's the thing. Johnson said there was a lot of potassium, which is legit. Potassium is very useful.
May
That is pretty good.
Arden Sul enrich your mind and guide your heart.
Was there anything else?
Happy time.
Nope, nothing else. Okay.
May Arden Sul.
What do you think?
You've done it! The ritual is complete, and you've survived. A shame about Thadon, but it's how we would have wanted it to go.
Yeah, probably.
Now, on to other...
What?
Wait, I must speak. The ritual must not be completed.
Nope, too late, lady. Sorry.
Syl! You dare interrupt me?
I can't
Only
move.
Interrupt me. Like just then.
Debating two
I'm
tacos? How do you
speaking with
debate two
someone.
tacos?
We'll talk later. Or not. When is later exactly?
Maybe like debating if you want to
Now,
eat
shut
only
that.
2 or 3.
Guards! I think Syl forgot how to use the door. Kindly show her out before I forget myself.
Thadon? Dead? You've done this. It was you all along.
Hold your tongue, little Duchess, or I'll tear it from your...
Is she gonna get got too? Is everyone gonna get murdered?
Facing Thadon with this outsider? This is how it ends.
I mean, she's
should
not
have
wrong.
seen this coming.
Calm yourself, Syl. You're making my teeth itch. You still hold your office? I suggest you see to your duties.
No, I see what's going on. I should have seen it before. You conspire to destroy us all. You're a fool if you think I'll allow this to happen.
Fool? Visionary! Change is in the air, Syl. Breathe it deep. Bathe in its scent. Bottle it up, save some for later.
Order stands at our door. They've taken the fringe. Did you even know? Do you care? And you speak of change.
Change will preserve us. It is the lifeblood of the Isles. It will move mountains. It will mount movements.
No, I can't do this. There has to be a way out. A way to escape.
Then go, Syl. Return to your quarters before I send you back in pieces.
Yes, that's what I'll do. I'll go. The enemy of my enemy orders the key. I'll keep them close.
No! Let her go.
This is not over, Mad God. I give myself to Jiggalag.
Oh boy.
As a priest of order, I'll be safe. Your empire will crumble before the armies of order.
Well, not terribly surprising that didn't go down so well. I imagine if we would have chosen to succeed Syl, Theta would have had a similar reaction. Yeah, debating to... Okay, so you're only gonna have one. I mean, I guess it depends on how big the tacos are, but I mean, usually a taco is not gigantic, so... 2 is usually what I prefer to, unless it's like the street tacos where they're really small. And street tacos are my favorite, admittedly. Part of the reason for the Irish potato... Oh, interesting, okay. That makes perfect sense. I mean, I know that back in those days, it was a significant part of their diet, but yeah, no, it makes sense that it was probably a lot more nutrients than I was thinking then. Because yeah, I always kind of assumed that saying potatoes are my favorite vegetable was like kind of cheating, because everyone loves potatoes, and I always thought that compared to other veggies, they weren't like as nutritious, but maybe I'm wrong, honestly. Also, Gus, what's up, bud? Day old tacos. I've been known to do that. Yeah, I get what Johnson's getting at, where it's like you just save all the stuff, like save the taco meats, save, like, you know, obviously refrigerate the cheese and the lettuce and the tomatoes, all that jazz, and then just, yeah, go back and like heat it back, like heat up the meat the next day, like in the microwave or something, and you're good to go. Off to the races. So yes, so she threatened that we hadn't heard the last of her. So yes, there will be more about the Syl situation. The Syl-tuation.
Wondering why I let her go, aren't you? I can see it in your face. Mostly in the eyes. I may take those from you when this is done.
He sure likes to threaten to remove body parts.
The ruler of dementia turning traitor? Unprecedented! I've seen others defect, but never a duke!
He's so happy.
Maybe we're onto something here. We'll see how it plays out. It can't be worse than what's happened before.
If you say so.
I do. I did. And I won't say it again. But that's enough about that. You're the ruler of Mania. Oh, just look at you. You're positively beaming. You now have the power to summon golden saints. They've
that's cool.
always served the Duke of Mania. I think it's the bright colors. They just look...
Look how excited she is. She's like, oh, fuck, I gotta get summoned by this asshole.
Is the Ring of Lordship, a symbol of your new station. Symbols are important. They carry weight in this realm, and others. You would be well served to remember that.
What about the fringe?
She was right about that. I can feel it. In my bones. The little ones. The Grey March has swept the fringe. Aura gathers its forces there as we speak. And I hate when people gather forces in my fringe! You'll need to put an end to that. Stop them. My army should already be there, but I want you to see what you can do to help. If they continue to marshal their forces there, we won't be able to contain them. Make sure they can't.
Alright. Some sparkling grape juice. That sounds tasty. What's up, Piazza? Good to see you, bud. Happy Monday. As happy of a Monday as it can, as it can be. Some big old French fries. That sounds delicious. Potatoes on tacos. That's respectable.
It swept the fringe. That's not good. See if you can't hold them off there, because if you can't, everyone is going to die. No pressure.
Never. Never any pressure. What about the obelisks?
They'll get more and more active as the Grey March continues. If they've already taken the fringe, they must have one there already.
I don't know if we've actually been to the fringe before.
I really hate those things.
Guess we're about to find out.
Congratulations!
Oh. Wasn't expecting them to all disappear like that. I do like how he was like, oh yes, you're wondering why I let her go. I can see it in your eyes. It's like, my sad eyes. And then he's like, look at you, you're the Duke. Aren't you excited? You're glowing with happiness. It's like, yep, I'm glowing. So happy, so excited. So he gave us a few things. He gave us a ring. It's not like it was just a symbolic gesture, but it might have actual functionality to it, maybe. Had a work holiday. Amnesia, that's good you had a day off. I did not have a day off, actually, because it's a, I guess, a federal holiday, but not a national holiday. So not every places are closed. Some of the people I work with, though, like their employer had today off as a holiday, so things are pretty quiet for the most part. So I have Ring of Lordship. Here we go. Resist disease. That shield 26% is pretty sick, actually. 26% is not a small amount. That's, of course, physical damage resistance. And I think we're actually pretty good on a lot of physical damage resistance. So I think I'm going to continue my current build, which is like mostly speccing into reflecting damage. Like, well, that's kind of our thing. We get the shit beat out of us, but as we're getting the shit beat out of us, we're reflecting damage back at our adversaries. So that seems to be working pretty well. So let's do that, then. Is there anything else that I needed to dispose of? I know I've got quite a lot of things to eventually sell. I have things to repair it all. Just a little bit of repairings. Or like a yeah, I'm so happy. Boo-hoo. Yeah, that's the same kind of energy, honestly. Had to work as well, Amnesia. Yeah, I'm gonna be using a lot of PTO starting next week. Not this week, but next week. So I have very much a vested interest in trying to keep it together. Now, what is the blessing? I don't see anything in the top right. Expel, yeah, it'd be the blessing of something. Not the Night Mother, that's not it. Lady's blessing. Oh no, that's the birth sign. Yeah. Okay, yeah, whatever it is, maybe it's not something that we get all the time necessarily.
Happy time.
Nothing else here. Does he have anything for us?
You've made your choice and forsaken the name Arden Sul.
He's not quite as excited about it. The whole bottle's only 300. That's actually not quite as bad as I was thinking it would be. Let's head to Bliss so we can sell some things. Oh, Bliss looks so weird when it's like all sleepy at nighttime. Of course, everything's closed, so if I wanted to sell things, this would be a little bit tricky. Do I have anything for the Oddity Museum? I don't think that I do right now, actually. I'm going to wait for 9 hours for things to open up so I can sell some stuff. Can't get any overtime, Amnesia? That's a shame. Or rather, you wouldn't get overtime if you would have taken the day off, I'm guessing. So we need to go to... Well, let's see. Here's the missing pauldron. I don't think I have any armored things. Oh, the guy that wants calipers and thongs. Tongs, not thongs. I mean, maybe he wants thongs too, but he definitely wants tongs. With a hard T. If I offer him thongs, I might give him the wrong idea. Or the right idea, I suppose. Where is this fella? The guy who wants thongs. Work is never done. Okay, he's probably at his house then. I know he likes to hang out in this bar a lot. But he also has his own home. So I'm the victor of Sylarn and the Great Torch of Mania. Oh, because we're in Mania. That's why they're all so excited, I think. Also, that guy's name is Big Head. I think, wasn't that the guy in Rocco's Modern Life? Like Ted Big Head or Ned Big Head? Toe of the Unrestful, that's the guy. Possession of thongs. Hey Piazza, I don't judge you, alright, for what you... I don't judge you for what you do in the privacy of your own home. So don't you judge me for the things I do in front of a webcam. Viewable by anybody who has the ability to afford an $8.99 subscription. Alright? Don't you worry about that. Where's this guy? Here he is. He's slapping away. He really is just beating the shit out of this thing, isn't he? I mean, I guess I've never built a boat, so I don't know shit, but I would think that there's a little bit more to it than just beating the fuck out of wood objects with an axe.
My boat is coming along swimmingly.
So when you use overtime, you can't. Right, I gotcha. The need for speedos. You know it, bud.
Found some. Excellent. Here.
Right.
I've heard that
Skin hands, right. So we found a few things.
I'll talk to you some more yesterday.
So we still have lots more to get from. I think somebody said he needs like 25 of each. So we've got to work cut out for us. I don't even know if we're gonna beat that quest, but we'll get him whatever we find. Whatever makes you feel sexy, Piazza. Yeah. No, I've like talked to. I've like had frank conversations with with women where it's like, because I think about thongs. I think about like that kind of underwear that it cannot possibly be comfortable. So it's like, oh man, that sounds so uncomfortable. Why like put yourself through that kind of discomfort? And part of it is like, well, some like outfits like look better when there's not like an obvious underwear line, and like usually a thong has like less coverage, so like it's like more it's like, it makes some outfits like look a little bit nicer. It's like, well, I guess that's one thing, but like just putting oneself through that kind of discomfort just to to make an outfit look a little bit nicer. Yes. To me, it seems like such an odd concept, but I remember talking to somebody, one of my friends, and she was like, well, Alex, that's just kind of how it is when you're a woman. Women just have all these things that they just kind of tolerate because, like, either it's a societal expectation or it's like a gender role, that kind of thing. So it's like, that's just how it is for ladies. That's like, we don't really think about it so much because it's just ingrained in us. And I was like, wow, that makes me kind of sad, actually. So to me, it's a pretty wild concept, but but to others, it's relatively normal. I'm gonna sell Ruin's Edge, by the way. The random spell effect is a fun meme, but I'm just not. I would never gonna use this, especially because I don't have anything into archery. 50 of each, Jesus, it's a lot. Good lord. Can't imagine. Yeah. It's like it just seems so uncomfortable. I would imagine. It just seems uncomfy. So we got this thing. When I ever use this, it takes up very little space. I guess the Fortify Health could come in handy at some point. I think I might sell this one, Charity of Madness. Not even that good of resistances. I think I'll sell that one.
You've got a good deal there. A
good deal there.
Seems a fair bargain to me.
Some other things I want to sell. Resist paralysis. Paralysis is good to resist if I can help it. So I'm down for that. I'll sell these things. I think I'm also hanging on to some stolen objects that I really don't need to hang on to anymore, especially because we're not going to be selling anything's defenses anytime soon. Got the Raiment of Arden Soul. I'm selling this one too, I think. Shield is good. Intelligence, willpower. I mean, these are all nice things. They're all very nice things. But it takes up so many armor. So many, well, actually... Well, I say that. This actually might come in handy at some point if there's like a quest thing that requires it. I guess if it was required, it wouldn't be sold. It wouldn't be sellable. But I guess maybe I should hang on to it a little bit longer. Same with this thing. We just got it, obviously, but and that shield is pretty good if I need like big physical defense. That actually is pretty sick. Wanna walk in, Ring of War, Ring of Thieves. Sell this one for sure. Reflect spell. Yeah, we have a lot of reflect spell things if need be. Were to come down to it. Here disease, sell these things. The pretty bow. It's a cool idea. I love the idea of ridiculous like randomness with a weapon like that, but it just we're never gonna sell it, so it's or we're never gonna use it rather. So best to just offload it. Save ourselves the trouble.
I can accept that.
It's not a decision made lightly.
You've got a good deal there.
Alacrity, yeah, sell that one. Occasion, get that one out of here. Endurance.
That seems fair. I can accept.
Yeah, a lot of these we can just get rid of entirely. I'll sell 2 of these puppies.
That seems fair to me.
Juice is more important than 2 tacos. I guess it depends on the juice. Oh, you're talking about the sparkling grape juice, right? Yeah, if it were up to me, I would go ham on the tacos personally. If given, I mean, sparkling grape juice, I don't really love, honestly. It's okay, but it's something I don't like really go out of my way for. My favorite game ever. It is not Morrowind, although it is on the list. Morrowind is on the list of like my top 10 games of all time, but it's not my favorite ever. My favorite video game ever is a odd choice to some. Also, I don't think I need any of these. I'll sell like 6 of them.
That seems fair to me.
This one could come in handy. I don't need... Actually, I will hang on to the hearts for now. None of those. But yeah, so the game that I always choose is my favorite game ever. It's kind of an odd choice because it's not a great game. I argue it's a good game, but it's not a great game. My favorite game of all time is Bomberman 64, which might not be terribly surprising given the Bomber friends that I have. Since that's something I very prominently have on display, one of my favorite channel point incentives. So it's like it's kind of not probably terribly surprising, honestly.
Fair bargain to me.
Say I will sell these.
You've got a good deal there. I can accept that.
So yeah, it's kind of an odd choice, but when it comes to a game that just had like a very big effect on me, like as a kid, I spent a lot of time playing it.
Seems a fair bargain to me.
Spent a lot of time trying to like just really appreciating the aesthetic and the music, how the worlds looked, how the secrets were really hard to get to and really rewarding once you found them, and the puzzles were challenging, and like as a kid they seemed so daunting, and then like learning how to like beat them was like very satisfying and very something that was like kind of a gaming coming of age thing for me personally. So just when it comes to a game that just had an impact on me, not because it's an amazing game, but because like it like affected me a lot personally, and I have a very unique sense of nostalgia for it. I would say if I had to choose one game, that's it. I mean, like Mario 64, obviously the better game. Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Morrowind, I mean Diablo 2, other games that are on the list, they're pretty much all better games. But Bomberman 64 is special for like lots of other reasons. It's a good game though. It's good. It's good. But it's like when people tell me like they don't really love the game, it's like, no, I don't blame you. It's not a game that I expect a lot of people to love. It was the kind of thing where I played it at the right like age, like the right time in my life, like the right like impressionable age was when I first played it, and that was when I was very much getting into video games. So I didn't have a lot of expectations prior. So yeah, it was a different time. It was good. They made 64 of them. Yes, the first 63 Bomberman games were just so. Yeah, that's the thing. I never really played any of the like classic Bomberman Super Nintendo games, which are by and large like better remembered compared to the N64 3D adventure games. See, the more traditional Bomberman games I've never really been into. I've played a few of them a little bit all the way through. Some of the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games. I like them, but I very much prefer the stuff that I played, the weird kind of experimental 3D games in the 90s. That's my shit right there. All right, to the fringe. Where's the fringe for that matter? Oh, it was this area. Oh, that was where we started. Well, shit. If they've invaded the Fringe, then aren't they, like, able to spill out into Cyrodiil then? That's kind of scary. Is it nostalgia? It is absolutely nostalgia. Just one of the sweetest Johnson, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely a person who enjoys, like, a sweet finisher. You know, like, I enjoy, like a single sweet thing, like, after dinner, maybe. Like, maybe a single piece of candy, or like if I have like something sweet, like a single granola bar, something like that. But yeah, usually if like given the choice, I tend to lean towards savory usually. Trying to figure out a favorite. It is hard. It is hard to pick a favorite game, and the Bomberman one is not a choice I make lightly. Because yeah, there's lots of games that I really love. I mean, again, you heard me of course mention Morrowind, Diablo 2, Diablo 1 for that matter. I love the game for extremely different reasons than Diablo 2. Mario 64, obviously, Ocarina of Time, Half-Life 1 and 2 for that matter. I mean, these are all absolute favorites, no doubt about it. But yeah, so much of the time it comes down to if I have to make that tough choice, that's the one I go for. Let's see how the Fringe looks. Let's see if it's a fucking mess. First, it's very blue and Sadge. Been completely conquered by the forces of order. Take a closer look, and let's head to Passwell. So, yep, there's the crystals. It still, like, has a similar kind of vibe, where it's just kind of gray and sad and blue. And, of course, the Gatekeeper's near, because we killed him to death. Let's see how everybody did back at Passwell. Passwell, is that what it's called? Doesn't actually say. Passwall. Diablo 1. Hope it goes back to the creepy roots. Oh, this looks cool. Stuff kind of like the sad, like ashen stuff and kind of raining down from the sky. It's kind of a cool effect. Yeah, when it comes to Diablo 4, it's tricky because Diablo 1 and 2 were made by Blizzard North, which is no longer a thing. You know, Blizzard North was kind of dismantled over the years after Diablo 2 came out, but it was also dismantled because Activision Blizzard happened. ActiBliz. And because of Activision Blizzard, I have very little faith that the Diablo franchise will like ever go back to like how it used to be. I would imagine they can probably get closer to like the aesthetic, like Johnson said, like some of the creepy roots. I bet they can get like close to making it look and kind of feel like the old school stuff. But that was a yeah. I don't expect them to ever make like a slow-paced, methodical, brooding game like Diablo 1 was. Diablo 1 was kind of a horror game in a lot of ways, and you had to be very careful in that game. Unless like, you know, you hacked the game to like give yourself like 1,000 bajillion points or something, or if you were just crazy over leveled. But generally speaking, if you were playing through Diablo 1, you had to be very careful. And you almost had to treat it like a turn-based game, which is actually appropriate because the game was a turn-based game for much of its development. It only became a real-time kind of combat game, role-playing game, kind of in the 11th hour. Well, maybe not in the 11th hour, but near the end of development, because David Brevik realized that like the gameplay loop was more exciting when there weren't explicit turns. But there are explicit turns, is the thing. Like when you're like playing the game, like Light Radius is a good example of this. If you're playing Diablo 1, you'll note that some enemies, when they approach you, if you like stand still, some enemies will just charge at you, like, and they don't give a fuck. Other enemies though will stay at your light radius for a certain number of rounds and then attack. Like certain enemies, I think the winged creatures, the winged demon lads, they'll like fly near your radius, they'll like get to the outer edge of your light radius, and they'll be like an exact number of times. Maybe it's not the winged guys, I might have my wires crossed, but it's something like the winged demon lads, where they'll wait an exact number of seconds before they go into attack. And that number of seconds is an artifact of the fact that it was, again, the game was like using or is using rounds to calculate all the actions. So it's just the rounds are just really fast is basically what it comes down to. So they just sped up how the rounds are calculated, and just kind of did it that way behind the scenes. And one of my friends was like, well, Alex, doesn't that mean every role-playing game is turn-based? It's like, well, yeah, kind of, yeah, but like the thing is, it's like more explicit in the case of Diablo 1, because it was baked into the game from the get-go, and they kind of changed it at the more or less minute to like kind of change the ante to be like, let's make it faster, let's make it more action-packed, more action-based. So they just took the existing system and just spun it up a bit. But still, even with that, though, you have to play so carefully. I remember, I think it was Overused Chutoy said it best, where like Diablo 2 and on, and 3 and Diablo Immortal, they're less careful games. They're more kind of screen clearing games. And I would say in a lot of ways, Diablo 2 is the better game. Diablo 2 probably is the better game than Diablo 1, generally speaking. Like, it's just better polished, and just you have more to it. There's just more game to the game, but it is very much a screen clearing game. You know, you power up your fella or your lady, your character, to be a badass. You charge into a room, you cast fucking Frozen Orb, you use Whirlwind, you clear the room, a bunch of loot gets dropped, you pick up the loot, you save the fun things, and you charge back in for more murders, charge back in for more screen clearings, and, like, you know, rinse, lather, repeat. Diablo 1 was like, you never felt like a badass. Like, you were always, like, anything could fuck you up. So I would even posit that Dark Souls probably took inspiration from Diablo 1 more so than the other ones. So it's unfortunately, that's like Diablo, a game that is a Diablo-like. So, excuse me? Oh, I was gonna say, you guys should be on my side, but these guys are not. The Grey March is not on our side. But the standard, for better for worse, is the Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 formula, where you do the screen clearing thing. Like, cause that's like kind of what people expect. When people say a game is a Diablo clone, they don't mean a Diablo 1 clone, they mean a Diablo 2 or 3 clone, where there's more of the focus on screen clearing and being a badass and the loot treadmill that, like Ogausa described. So I might not like it, because again, I very much prefer the old school approach.
Your Grace, a dark time has been thrust upon us.
But it means that because those games are so much more popular than Diablo 1 was, that is what that Diablo-like, Diablo clone
the area around it began to crystallize and change.
Genre will continue to do.
The sky darkened and the nights came.
Like, there are games that, you know, are more evocative of Diablo 1, but those are kind of far and few between, whereas, I mean, the Diablo series will definitely continue down the path that Diablo 2 and 3 have established. And I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I'm not even sure if I'll probably eventually get 4, but I definitely won't get it at launch, and I'm definitely gonna wait until, Kotick's out of the picture. Bobby Kotick, just because I mean, Blizzard's, like, just been run so shit by really awful people for a while, so I really don't want to give him any of my money. So, we'll see. We'll see. Slightly less awful than Immortal. I'm sure it'll be an okay game. I bet Diablo 4 will be, like, pretty okay. I liked 3. I thought it was an okay game, and I enjoyed my time with it. But I knew like, when I went to play it, I checked my expectations at the door, because I knew that it was not going to be anywhere near what I enjoyed about Diablo 2. Had some rants dressing. Very nice. Homemade rants. That's pretty based, honestly. Ketchup, mayo, mustard. Interesting. Interesting combo, yeah. Would I play Skyrim eventually? Yeah, I'll play it eventually. Yeah, I'll play Skyrim eventually. I mean, this is gonna scratch my Elder Scrolls itch, my like new Elder Scrolls experience itch for a while. But yeah, I'll eventually get to Skyrim too. Skyrim as well. I've ever played Fallout. I've played Fallout 1. I've only played Fallout 1, so I eventually want to play through 2, and of course 3, New Vegas. But yeah, I've only played 1. I liked it a lot, but it's a tough game. And 2, I've heard is even like, is even better, but in some ways is also more challenging. So I know I've got my work cut out for me, but yeah, Fallout 2 is on my list for sure.
The nights are relentless. They do not tire. They do not fear, and they do not stop coming. They appear out of nowhere at the base of the spire. We kill 5 of them, 5 more come.
Or the Knights of Order, rather.
We've lost too many of the Orioles already. I fear that we will not be able to hold the town for much longer.
So this is kind of the last bastion, then, of defense.
You've seen the spire in Passwall. It is believed to be a monument from times past, but its true purpose appears to be more sinister. It appears to be a source of power for these invaders. A portal or some sort of gate. I don't know. If we cannot disable or destroy it somehow, I do not think that we can stop this invasion.
Yeah, it seems like most people like New Vegas Piazza. It's interesting because when New Vegas first came out, I remember a lot of people said they were disappointed because they loved the story of 3 so much. But I think opinion has kind of shifted more into the pro New Vegas kind of opinions, kind of leanings in like over the past probably like 5 to 10 years. Hey, what's up, Meerkat? I was about to make a joke like, whoa, lady, that's too much information. TMI.
I have an idea how we might be able to stop them, but for now we must survive. I've been losing Orioles with each attack, and I'm down to nothing but men. We are pinned down here.
Nothing but men.
Lose,
Gross.
the gates of madness
Ew.
will fall.
With their cooties.
If the gates fall, the enemy will flood into the Isles. We will be helpless to stop them. But now that you've arrived, perhaps we can slow them down.
I'm pretty cool.
We cannot talk now. We don't have very long until the next wave arrives. Even though I have served with these Orioles for centuries, as the Duke of Mania, it is your right to command the troops.
Oh.
Command them if you will, or leave it to me. Either way, make haste. Our time is short.
I'm gonna leave it to you, because I don't want to fuck with that level of micromanagement.
I thank you for your trust. In your name, and for the sake of the Shivering Isles, I shall not disappoint you. Inspect the battlefield and provide what aid you can to the troops. Speak with me when you feel that they are ready for battle. Form up. By the staff, we will not allow this town to fall. Are you prepared for battle, Your Grace?
Obsidian in particular. Yeah, Obsidian is a pretty good developer, honestly. So yeah, I would not disagree. I think they're pretty set.
Provide what aid you can, but I beg you to make haste. The enemy does not wait long between attacks.
So the Spire, like she was saying. Oh, are we fighting more things? Are we charging? Okay, they're healing. Okay, I was about to say I want to heal them up, but it looks like they actually beat me to the punch.
We will keep fighting until the last of us is dead. The knights began arriving shortly after the Spire activated. They seem to have no interest in pushing us back, only in killing those who resist. Passwall has served as an outpost for our defense of the realm for millennia.
Okay.
It seems to be the source of their power. Auric Desha may know more.
Ulrich Desha, that's the lady.
Defend this land.
Yeah, she's the commander. Talk to, yeah, we did earlier. We did at the very, very start. So they don't have anything on them. And of course these guys just got the hearts and their weapons. Like, we already have 20 hearts, it's probably unnecessary. Can I actually go into these places? I cannot. Looks like they're all boarded up. Wonder if we can take at the Spire, if it'll retract some of these crystals. Yeah, it looks like all the entrances are boarded up, yeah. Yeah, this place is all sad and like, I like the ashen gray air follicles that are falling from the sky. Very, very like dead and sad. Very in Sadge. So this is the Spire, right? It's all glowy. Look at that high dynamic range, by the way. Look at that. High dynamic range. I know not everybody likes the HDR stuff in games like this because our eyes are not cameras, obviously. So it's, but I think that's the whole thing. But I think high dynamic range is supposed to like simulate how it is when our eyes like are overexposed suddenly, like where you come out of a dark cave and it takes your eyes a second to adjust. I think that's kind of like what HDR is more or less trying to simulate. Welcome back, Blackbird. We actually can't get into this thing, can we? There's no like entrance, or if there is, there's a big ass wall blocking that shit. So yeah, I'm not sure what it's supposed to do with this thing, but probably once we defend, or the next thing will become clear. Let's go ahead and talk to the lady and proceed to the next step. The voice actor for Sheogorath, he does a very good job. You can tell you really, I think you can get the impression that he really enjoys himself, which is good.
Have you provided the soldiers with aid? If you have done all that you can, are you prepared to face the enemy?
I am ready.
The enemy will be upon us soon. May the blessings of our Lord protect us all. Here they come.
Whoop. And of course my homie's like charge in front of me. Like, I know what you're going for, and I appreciate it, but please don't like jump in front of my weapon, please. I'd like to not murder you if I can help it. Although they're hyper-focused on me, which is good. I like when they're focused on me. That means I can focus on... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to smack that dude in the ass. Yes, I knocked that one dude way the fuck back. Sorry about that, homie. There's more of it. More of them. Yeah, if they focus me, that's good because then I can just focus and keep myself alive and worry less about trying to, you know, babysit the homies. I'm getting still knocked real good. Real good, like. Extinguished 3 lives this day. We look sad. Good. Get sad. Get dead. I think it says pizza. Now, I remember thinking the first time I saw Piazza in the chat, my first thought was, "Our pizza." And I'm like, yes. I hope you are pizza so that I can eat you. Turns out he's just a boring-ass human, though. You can't eat a human, or can you? Probably not. Probably not. It's probably looked down upon. Back to Ulrig. See how we did. Blood. Is this blood from them? Do they bleed blood? I know the priests are, like, used to be human. Where you going, lady?
Victory
Oh, okay.
is ours. For the moment. We must discuss our next
Always
move.
a good choice, yes.
The Spire is obviously their source of power. This battle will not end until we find a way to shut it down.
Since it's right, if it's part of your name, you've probably heard it all your life, haven't you?
I am not certain, but do not lose heart. I have an idea. The ruins of Zedaphen run under Passwall. The entrance to the south of the town has been sealed for centuries. One of my scouts reported that the ruins have been opened recently, and a number of these knights are now guarding the entrance. I did, and she did not return. I can only assume that she was caught and killed.
Hope you're out of it, at least for now. At least for now, until they pull him back in, Amnesia.
If we attempt to assault Zedaphen, Passwall will be overrun and we will lose the Fringe. Additionally, our forces are dangerously thin. We have no idea what opposition may await us inside. Your insight is impressive. While we draw their attention here, you should be able to slip inside Zedaphen.
No pressure.
Once inside, search for the source of the Spire's power. It must be underground somewhere. Once you find it, destroy it. Good luck, Your Grace. May the truth light your way through the darkness.
Associate your name with pizza. There are worse things to be associated by, sir, or associated with. So that's not too bad, I
The
suppose.
Knights are relentless. We are the only thing standing between them and the total destruction of the Fringe.
What about Passwall?
This town has stood on the edge of the Shivering Isles since they were born from the mists of time. For our purposes, it serves as a defensible outpost. That is, against typical enemies who can know fear, intimidation, and hopelessness.
All right. Anything else?
You've seen the spire in Passwall. It is believed to be a monument from times past, but its true purpose appears to be more sinister.
More
It seems to be
sinister.
a source of power for these invaders.
We've actually already heard this
If we
line.
cannot disable or destroy it somehow, I do not think that we can stop this invasion.
They're foodies, that's right, yeah. I have a number of friends who are foodies, and they always have the good recommendations on things to do, and places to eat. Alright, so, we gotta go to Zedaphen. I think we've actually already been there before. It's the area that I'm thinking that it is. Now, we wouldn't have gone to this particular area, at least. There was like a few different places within that kind of general region. But I think we did explore that particular area at the very, very start. And we cleared it out. We cleared out what we could, but obviously we couldn't clear out everything. Yeah, we've definitely been to that general area before. Any side quest, Meerkat? I'm actually almost tempted to I'm almost wondering maybe if I should remove the side quest thing because we're gonna be focused on main quest stuff for a while. The thing is, though, there's a bunch of side quests I'm holding off on completing because the ways to resolve the quests are unsatisfactory to me. I wish to find like other ways to resolve those side quests, and such a thing might exist at some point, or it might not. It's hard to say. Okay, we got the paralyzed proc. So it's hard to say, but like I'm hoping we can find basically non-lethal ways to resolve certain quests, and I believe that as we continue with the main quest, we'll understand more aspects of the island, like with the ghosts and the hill of suicides, and like that some of those like aspects of this area. So like I just need to learn more about the Shivering Isles before I can make the judgment call of what is within and outside of the realms of possibilities. So yeah, I would expect probably we're not going to do any side quest things for this stream. Maybe at some point this week though. It'll really depend on just how much progress we make with the main quest at least. Because as we do the main quest, we're definitely learning more about this ridiculous place. Anything cool in here? Nope. I see most Twitch viewers do. Well, by the numbers, you are correct, Piazza. I think it's like a 75-25 split, where the majority are identify as dudes. So by the numbers, that is, you know, mostly accurate. Also, I lied. We have not been here. We have not been here because it got added to our map. Or if we have been here, we weren't able to go in. So the areas that we did go into would have been. I don't know, it must have been a different corner then, because we definitely explored some dungeon areas, like right next to where we first spawned in. Just hoping to do this. Bonk. Oh, no, that's fine, that's fine. I know why Automod caught it, but it's fine. No one's in trouble. Miss Buffalo, that's right. Yeah, Johnson is our resident Buffalo expert. The place, not the animal. Although, you know, whenever conversation about how weird the English language comes into play, there's the classical example of Johnson. I'm sure you've heard this like dozens of times in your life, but the fact that buffalo is the name of an animal, and buffalo is a place, and buffalo is a verb. And I think it also might be an adjective too. So the sentence, buffalo, 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 is a valid sentence in the English language, and it's fucking stupid. So, something we've heard lots of times with regards to discussions of linguistics and syntax, that kind of thing. Were there any nameless NPCs yet? I'm gonna say the Knights of the Order do not count, or Knights of Order do not count, but the Priests of Order do count, because they have like armor and like clothes that they have equipped, and they talk. So the Priests do count, but the regular Knights do not. So not yet. So it's a French name, Blackbird. That's cool. I'm guessing you're maybe if you have like a family with like French origins, or if you're from Canada, and like certain parts of Canada of course have a lot of French, especially in like the more western or more eastern sides of Canada have more French speaking. Sir Rochester, that's right, the kingdom of Rochester. Ooh, that's a good one, Blackbird. Can I assume it's pronounced, if it's French, would it be Annie? Is that how you pronounce it? I was in college, had to repeat it 4 times. Oh gosh. Okay, so I probably said it way wrong then. Anna with like 17 S's. Anna's pronunciation is tricky. Yeah, pronunciation does get tricky sometimes. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times when somebody pops into the Twitch chat and it's a screen name that I'm not like super sure about, I will try at least. I'll try my best to pronounce it, and then I'll be like, hey man, if I fucked it up, you can tell me, because I very much have a vested interest in saying things correctly whenever possible. Because, you know, it's part of someone's online identity, it's important. I want to make sure I don't fuck it up, especially the case with like someone's actual name. Like if I'm mispronouncing someone's name, feel free to correct me because I want to get it right. I want to, if possible. If at all possible. What's up, Destiny? Good to see you, bud. Where are we at? So we are... Actually, you can probably figure out. We're actually just now going into Zedifins. This is when the Grey Watch is really starting to take hold. They've entered into the fringe, so we're trying to get into the core of their... Get into, I guess, where their portal is. And see if we can put a stop to what's going on here. So we're going into Zedifin, because the theory is they've suddenly held up... They've set up shop inside of Zedifin, and we were just talking to the Golden Saint lady. She was saying, well, normally that place is closed off, so the fact that... Whoa. Where'd you go? What in the world? Did he fall through the floor? Did I just smack him into nothingness? Well, he'll probably spawn back in, but it means we can't do any kind of fast travel or resting or waiting until that's resolved. But anyway, so yeah, she was like, all right, well... The fact that they're, like, super focused on this area is kind of weird because she suspects there's some kind of portal that's bringing them in. I think he fell to the floor or something. So ridiculous, man. So ridiculous. Oh, yes, and it's Shivering Isles. Yes, I should have clarified. We're very much within the Shivering Isles right now. The main quest of the Shivering Isles is the main focus right now. So it's like Anna is... Like, his both at the H. Anna is, okay. Interesting. Anna is. That's cool. Yeah, I would have never guessed that. It makes perfect sense based on how it's spelled. But yeah, the French pronunciation. Since I've never learned any French or never studied French, I don't really know a lot about how the word's supposed to be pronounced other than just onesie-twosie examples that I've heard. Do we die today? All right, we'll find out. Not yet, but maybe later. We'll see. Infinity Password. That's correct. That's correct. Got the troops. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Knights of Order. Shivering Isles. It's a good one. It's a good one, Destiny. It's my first time playing through it, but I'm really enjoying myself with it. Glitchy behavior. That was definitely a glitch. It was a game glitch. I don't know if I would call it like AI glitching, because the AI was you know, behaving normally, but it was definitely a glitch in a Bethesda game. Crazy, right? Submerge them in water once a week. Really? I didn't know that. Submerge them in water. Wow. Good thing you told me that. I had no idea. Going to the ground is kind of... Well, I mean, I guess it adds to the air of madness and randomness within the Shivering Isles. So I guess it kind of makes sense. Gotta find the source of power, because it's powering the spire, so we can deactivate it. Because once we deactivate the spire, it should prevent the lads from tunneling in, hopefully. Oh, I think he... Well, actually, no, this is a different one, I think. Because this guy is uninjured. Unless they heal over time. But I'm thinking, like, if this is the guy that we managed to smack through the world earlier. Okay, well, at least I calmed things down now, so now we can actually, like, wait. And presumably fast travel. So, I don't know if that resolved the issue that we just saw, but it at least means that things are fine for now. It's a feature. Yes, it's a feature. It's an unplanned feature. Even killed these things. Even killed the Grumites. Heartless. Heartless to kill the poor innocent Grumites that I would have murdered. You know, if need be. I would have had to have killed them. So I can pretend that I'm like, you know, offended and so sad. But the reality is like, I'm like, well, actually, thankfully, it's not a problem for us. You're the plant mom, Johnson. That's right. That's right. You're the savior. Oblivion is... Oh, no, I'm enjoying it, Destiny. This whole playthrough has been my first ever playthrough. My first ever playthrough of Oblivion. We started it in June or maybe July. I think it was June of last year. So it's been a 6+ month project. And it's been an enjoyable project, but it's not a short game, and I've done everything so far, at least. We've done all of the main quest in Cyrodiil. We did all the factions. We did Fighters Guild, Mages Guild, Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood. We did the arena. We fucking hit that game hard. Hit this game hard. We've done every side quest I've ever come upon. In the main game, that is. There's always the chance I might have missed something. We didn't explore every dungeon. I didn't get all the Nern routes, so there were obviously things I did not get. But there was a ton of stuff that we did get. She's blessing them, I think. Yes, that's exactly what's happening. Can I cut them off? Because they were running this way, I think. Well, maybe not. I can sneak up on this person. But yeah, so it's been my first ever playthrough. I've played a lot of Morrowind, of course. I mean, I've had a lot of experience. Can I steal her key? Like that. And then I'll also kill her. Priest of... Or him. It's a him. It's a fella priest. I didn't have to steal his key, but I figured, why the fuck not, right? Might as well. Plus a soul gem. So yeah, that was an NPC. This guy right here. So he had equipment, that kind of thing. You heard him, like, make a noise when I killed him. Succulents are pretty hardy. They are. They absolutely are, yeah. So I'm glad you were able to rescue them. Controller for support on PC. Oh, for this game, that's a good question. I wonder if there's any third-party mods that enable controller support for this game, because you're absolutely right, Destiny. This was, you know, of course, originally on PC. Well, I don't know if it was originally on PC. It might have released simultaneously on PC and console, but still, most people who are at least our age probably played it on console, and on Xbox 360 in particular. Or PS3, but I think it was especially a big deal on Xbox 360 back in the day. Yeah, no, I had no idea either, honestly. I've never really had plants myself, but Gracie does. Gracie has lots of plants. She's very good at maintaining them. Got a big ass spider plant piazza. That's cool. Not a short game. About 300 hours. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at, actually. In fact, here, if I do this. With that, you can see 280 hours of time in this one save. But that, of course, does not mean the overall game time. The overall game time is probably like 300. Actually, hold on. I can get you the exact number. It's got to be over 300 by this point. So, uno momento. Switch over to this guy. So, look at that. 306 hours. So, just over 300 total run time. Not including, you know, again, that includes, like, the times when I've stepped away. With this time when I've had the game paused, obviously. But still, 306 total time. And we're not done. We're not done, obviously. We still have more to go. I imagine we're probably approaching the halfway point of the Shivering Isles expansion. But this is the last thing we have to do. This is the last thing. We've done all the other DLC. We've done Knights of the Nine. We did Maroon's Razor. We did all the upgrades for Battlehorn Castle and Frostcrag Spire. We've done everything else, at least, that I've found. So we're really trying to give this game a proper experience, a proper playthrough. A lot of Skyrim, but no Morrowind. Yeah, Morrowind's my favorite. Morrowind is my favorite, but this is a worthy Elder Scrolls game. I have enjoyed my time with it quite a bit. Swedish Ivy, and it became massive. That's awesome. Made it to 5 different plants. That's cool. That's cool, Mirka. That's impressive. You got quite the green thumb, my friend. Whoops. Crying in old Destiny. I would be willing to bet I'm probably older than you are, because, yeah, I mean, again, this is my first time playing through this game, but I played Morrowind back a bunch back when it first came out, and I've played it a bunch since. I'm approaching my mid-30s. I turned 34 in a few months, so it means I'm so experienced. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Also, I lied. We have been here. We absolutely have been here. It's surprising it wasn't on the map, though, earlier. But yeah, we have been in Zediphen. Hence why all the map is populated. Although certain areas we couldn't get into. It still keeps going for... Yeah, despite a lack of water, it still keeps going. That's very hearty and very impressive, I would say, Meerkat. See, we have some friends that run up behind us. Lucky us. Can I smack you down the stairs? Just me or the music? Nope, I got disarmed. Music is very quiet. I really can't hear the music at all. Okay, just low in the mix. And voices are maxed. Good. Once again, I don't know where my sword went, so I'm just gonna equip my other sword. I have a backup. Oh, here. Actually, I have several backups. This has a tendency to happen. Whenever I get disarmed, it's like the sword is. It definitely doesn't drop at our feet. It like gets knocked super far away. So it's a matter of trying to track down where it is. Delete your save. Oh no! And then your 360 red ring destiny. Oh, that is crushing. Did you ever go back? Did you ever like get to finish an entire playthrough of the game, or has it stymied you all these years? And throw him down the stairs. Actually, I'm just gonna smack him off this way. Ka-thump. Let's see where our sword went. Probably just fell down. Fell down here or something, probably. It's the perfect sword. So perfect. Perfect order. Perfect. More like perfect odor. Yeah, whenever I disarm a bad guy, it's always so frustrating. Whenever I disarm a bad guy, their sword just drops to their feet and they just auto pick it back up. Whenever a bad guy disarms me, my sword gets fucking flung into the high heavens. It's like in a different zip code now. Here it is. Yeah. How'd this motherfucker end up way over here? I was fighting this motherfucker right here. He disarms me and it ends up 900 miles away. I think that shit's just ridiculous. But a lot of time into Oblivion Destiny. It means you're an expert. That's good. It's good to have people like yourself around because whenever I inevitably have questions, I can source you for intel. Which I appreciate you. Where am I from in the United States? So I'm from St. Louis. That's where I live. I grew up in Illinois, but like not very far away. Illinois, like a lot of people when they hear Illinois, they think Chicago. But no, I grew up in Southern Illinois, so I've been like the same probably 50-mile radius for most of my life. Give or take. Well, yeah, 50-ish miles, we'll say. See, that's where I am, and that's where most of my family is as well. Is in the Midwest or around the St. Louis metro area. 30 Destiny, yeah, us. That's right, us 30 and up individuals, us 30 and up gamers. We got to stick together. We got to stick together in a cruel world, in a cruel and uncaring world that is not considerate for our back pain. Are they all priests? No, I think this is the only priest. Oh, it wasn't. Oh, it did count as a sneak attack. Because she definitely saw me. Whoa! She definitely saw me. Or maybe he definitely saw me. But it still counted as a sneak attack, which is just delightful. So he smacked me down, so I'm gonna smack his ass down. Hell yeah. Fuck him up. It's been the same drip this whole time, Mirka. That's impressive, yeah. Either you just have a naturally green thumb, or that thing is just unkillable, and you've summoned a zombie that's gonna kill us all. Regardless, it is impressive. They're actually a very hardy plant. So you did finish it a bunch of times, that's good. Worked Xbox 3 times. Wait, are you telling me, like, he had the same Xbox crap out, or do you had 3 separate Xboxes crap out? Because, yeah, I know a lot of Xbox owners at some point had a red ring of death. You got your own though, Destiny? Good. So you can experience it at your own leisure. $200, but never finished the main quest. Main quest is really good. The main quest was really good. I was really impressed. I would say that was one of my favorite aspects of this game, actually. Was the main quest. The other factions are really good, obviously. I mean, there's a lot of things to like about this game, but the main quest, from just a lore perspective, is very interesting. So I would say that's again very worthy, like Elder Scrolls thing to experience. The whole thing about Mankar Cameron and some of the implications about some of the things that he's able to do, and some of the and even some of like his like reasonings for why he does certain things in the main quest, and also some ambiguities for why certain things are maybe unanswered, or how certain things are unanswered. So I think it's kind of cool. It's really good. And mostly guys to mostly fella gentleman friends. I have a couple friends like that. I have a couple lady friends who mostly have gentlemen homies. So everyone's and there's also a couple gentlemen I know that mostly had lady friends back in the day. So yeah, everyone's situation is kind of different along those lines. Whoop! Got my ass. Man, they really got my ass too. I heard the door close. I was like, fuck. Unexpected. Although the Grumite egg mounds are not really a thing anymore, because, well, the mounds are here, but there's no Grumites because they're all dead. So 3 separate Xboxes shot the bed. That is unfortunate. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. It's 3 separate times. That sounds awful. I only had it happen to me once. Of course, I only had the one Xbox. I did get it repaired, but yeah, that was you know, inconvenient to have to deal with. Have 2 PCs going back to back. That'd be cool, yeah. Probably just save up money to afford like a second PC. That'd be pretty sick, actually. PCs are, of course, not cheap. Of course, a lot can be said about the state of buying a computer right now, buying graphics cards especially. I mean, for a current gen new graphics card, you know, it's a minimum of $1,000 right now, which is ridiculous. You know, the last generation was not nearly as nutty. With MSRP, at least, you know, with the launch. So graphics cards alone are pretty expensive. Not as bad as it was, like, you know, 6 months ago, but still, it's pretty not great right now. And CPUs aren't quite as bad. Of course, you know, RAM and like power supplies aren't quite as bad comparatively, but still, yeah, PCs are expensive. Definitely a thing to save up for. Yeah, Destiny, got your own. Yeah, got your own, so you can, like I said, you can enjoy it at your own pace. Not have to deal with like the hand-me-down situation. You can just have your own, so it's truly yours to savor. Lots of side quests, yeah, lots of side. The thing is, there are a lot of them. There's a lot of side quests, and there's a lot of things to get distracted by. A lot of factions, and the factions take a long time. But once they're done, though, yeah, once the faction things are done, then it kind of helps you focus. That's what I did. I did a lot of. That's not true. I guess I did the main quest first. I completed the main quest first before I went in on the faction things entirely. Like, I started them, but I didn't complete any factions until after the main quest. This fella. Turn around. Turn around. Sneak attack. And then you're next. Okay, that was sneak attack, but it did not auto kill. What? Give me my weapon. Ouch. Yeah, of course I was able to immediately pick it back up. Because I'm such a gamer. Johnson says, I get distracted, so sue me. And the level 90 wizard says, alright, bet. I'll see you in court, motherfucker. Separate PS4s and separate rooms. I can appreciate a his-hers console area. His-hers PS4. I can respect that. Gracie and I will have, you know, kind of have our own separate offices in her house. So yeah, I can respect the idea of you kind of having your own like individual space. So the original, that's awesome. Your cat, no problems, no red rings. That's impressive. He's either very lucky or maybe yeah, maybe the launch models, like the launch day models, maybe had less issues. I thought pretty much all of them the first couple of years had like a hardware failure that was practically guaranteed to fail after a certain point, but. Maybe yours is, yeah, old Bertha. Maybe yours is, your friends has managed to beat the odds. Spilled salt water. Oh, that would do it, yeah. New one is only $75. Yeah, that's not so bad, honestly. That's not so bad before the boom. Oh, did Xbox 360 prices go up at one point? Because I never heard of any big booms happening. Also, there's no way to open that door. Probably another way forward. Oh, okay, no, I just can't go out that way, but this is the way I want to go. Oh, actually, hold on. Well, no, this is the way I want to go. Oh, well, that's inconvenient. There must be something else, then. Something else somewhere else. That's how we exit the High Fane. Let's go back this way, then. It's the New Jersey spirit. That's right. It's got the spirit of the heart of New Jersey beating in its soul, in its circuitry. Mirka, that's what's going on. Yeah, no more seat disabling. That's right. When it's your console, only you're in control of it, Destiny. So that means you're broke and go in and fuck shit up. Have any enemies gotten got by any traps? Not yet. Not yet. Although we're pretty early on the stream, so we'll see how it goes. But no trap damage yet. The Last of Us, I've heard very good things. I've heard very good things. The living room and the bedroom, we got separate offices. Yeah, I mean, in my admittedly limited experience with long-term relationships and soon-to-be marriages, it sounds like, you know, long-term couples having, you know, their own individual spaces is important. You know, like it's like you need some semblance of independence. I think it's good. Yeah, old Bertha, which is appropriate. That's right. Hey, what's up, Brett? By the way, good to see you, bud. I know I fell a little bit behind in chat. It's good to see you, Brett. Yeah, the question is the Shivering Isles worth picking up? I would say yeah, absolutely. I would say if you have the ability, I would just recommend the Game of the Year edition of Oblivion. Just get the Game of the Year edition, get all the DLC. The Knights of the Nine DLC is very interesting, and I think is very worthy and very good. I would say the Shivering Isles is my favorite aspect of this game. There's a lot of facets of this game I like a lot, but the Shivering Isles has been my favorite so far, and I think it will most likely continue to be the favorite. Like, I've really enjoyed it so far. The story is interesting. The areas are, like, very pretty, like, very beautiful. Like, it's a cool aesthetic. The characters are like, unique and fun and weird. The quests are interesting, and there's, like, a lot of variety. So I feel like base Oblivion is good, but I think there is a valid criticism for when people say that it feels kind of samey after a while. Because, yeah, I think there is some aspect of it that does start to feel samey. But the Shivering Isles mixes it up very, very well. So it's very good. Yeah, if I had to pick one DLC, it'd be this one. But I would say get all of them, honestly. Some people say it's one of their favorite DLC for any game ever. And yeah, I can see that aspect too, honestly. $450 for a Switch. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, because you got a couple games. But not if my knees are... Well, yeah, okay. I said the heart of New Jersey, so you got good hearts, maybe not good knees. You want to share the saves, yeah, especially because like if there have been repeated offenses of your brother deleting shit, that's no good, man. That's not cool. Refusal to die from plants, at least. Plants and Xboxes. Stock Informer. Oh, okay, getting it at MSRP. I gotcha. So Piazza said you paid $450 for a basic Switch. Probably like I'm guessing this would have been a while ago because I know you said you got the OLED model for your kiddo. Pretty recently, got her a couple games. Get all of it because it's all very good. The base game is good. The base game is worth playing, but I think I recognize when some people say they couldn't get into it because I liked it and I was able to get into it, but I was able to recognize, I think, things that would maybe be, I don't want to say stumbling blocks, but things that would be kind of downers for some folks. Got the OLED one, that's right, yeah, which is even cheaper, the deal you got, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, I have a base model Switch, although I got mine for like whatever the MSRP at launch was. I think like $250 or $300 maybe. So not too bad. The Game Pass version, yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot this is on Game Pass. Yeah, yeah. I would say if you're enjoying it, Brett, and you want to get into it more, yeah, I would say you've demonstrated that you have what it takes to fully enjoy this game. Because again, it's not for everybody. I love me some Morrowind. Morrowind is my favorite, and I'm like sad about the lack of depth that this game has. So there's things I miss about Morrowind when I play this game, but there's also things in this game that I appreciate that I know I'll miss when I go back to play Morrowind again. So I like to think I can kind of see all the facets or at least appreciate them. But yeah, I'd say if you enjoy, whoop, sorry about that. The stream stuttered for a bit there. If you're enjoying the base game so far, Brett, then yeah, you would be it'd be very much worth your while to try the DLC as well. I think you would enjoy it. Yeah, Martin Septim, he's the man. He is the man. $450 because of COVID, right? So there was a crazy demand at one point. That makes sense. Usually you're more of a handheld person. Yeah, the fact that I just have mine plugged into my computer, or I guess my monitor really, means that it rarely leaves the dock. Any repair hammers? We've broke 2. We've broken 2 so far. Port Oblivion or Morrowind to the Switch. Ah, man, that'd be really hard. I think Oblivion maybe would be doable. Morrowind would be tricky. I mean, Morrowind on Xbox was, of course, an Xbox original port. I know that porting original Xbox games around can be tricky sometimes, but it would be interesting. That'd be cool to see if they could do it, but yeah, that would they'd have to bring in some third-party developers to help with that, because that'd be probably a pretty tall order. Put a scuff on the screen? Yeah, I mean, I guess there's screen protectors, but those can only do so much, obviously. Bethesda money for Elder Scrolls. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about Elder Scrolls 6. I know that they're doing a presentation, a specific presentation about Starfield, sometime later this year. Bethesda is that is. And I'm guessing once Starfield is out, they'll probably switch gears to Elder Scrolls 6. So I'm guessing maybe in a couple years we'll hear more, but I'm not in any rush. So we'll see. Oh, by the way, I lost my cursor. Anybody was wondering why I'm just sitting here, it's because I don't have a cursor right now. Okay, now I got it. Now I got it. Just had Alt-Tab. Add features that are good from the other games. That'd be nice, yeah. Unless you're saying, is that what other mods that do that for this game? Meerkat that like add things from other games? I know there's mods that add stuff from Skyrim. Find a way to shut down the obelisk, by the way. Did they port Oblivion to the Switch? Not that I'm aware of. I know they ported Skyrim. But I mean, Skyrim has been ported everywhere, so no surprise there. Better Pokemon games. It's a shame because I've heard the Pokemon game. Oh, look at this sneaky man. Oh, it's you. I recognize you. You're a friend, right?
It's
Yeah.
you. I remember you. What are you doing down here? How did you get past the knights? When they attacked, I ran from Passwall. They didn't say a word. They just started killing. The screams. By the staff, you can't imagine the screams. Fellas and I slipped down here thinking we'd be safe, but no, we landed right in the middle of them. Fellas ran off with them and left me to die. Me! That ingrate, disloyal cur. Imagine leaving me here all alone.
But yeah, but the Pokemon game, it's a shame because apparently the Pokemon game is very good, but of course it's on the technical level, it's quite lacking, you know. Apparently it's a glitchy, or at least stuttery, like frame rate mess. So I know that it's disappointed a lot of people, but apparently the game itself is quite good. Although Meerkat points out Temtem apparently is very good. I've heard very good things about Temtem. Starfield, yeah. I mean, it's the first like new IP for Bethesda in a long time, so I hope it's good. I don't know if it's going to be my kind of cup of tea. I don't have any plan to pick it up, and I probably won't pick up Elder Scrolls 6 anytime soon after it releases because I still need to play Skyrim, so I'm still pretty behind. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are excited for 6. It's just, we'll see. It's just that, you know, they gave us that one teaser trailer like 2 years ago, and it's been radio silence since then, so I'm not of the expectation that we'll get it anytime soon, but we'll see. Is this guy from the Dark Brotherhood? I don't think he is. His outfit is kind of Dark Brotherhood-esque, but I don't think he's from the Dark Brotherhood. I don't think I've seen any Dark Brotherhood representation inside the Shivering Isles yet, at least.
I didn't say they took him. He went with them.
Yeah, he went willingly.
I've heard his voice a few times around here. I think he joined them.
Yeah, it sounds like he joined them willingly. Is Temtem single player? I think it has a multiplayer aspect. It's on Steam for sure. Oh, is it technically an MMO? I guess I never thought about that. I always assumed that it was like multiplayer. Yeah, I guess it is kind of an MMO, actually. I guess that kind of makes sense. Yeah. With how much money. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? The Pokemon company, like, do they not have like resources to like make a more well-polished game or more QA for the game? It's baffling, isn't it? So yeah, I really have no explanation or like no understanding for why things are the way they are. I mean, the Switch is not a very powerful console, obviously, but still, I mean, you look at like Bayonetta 3. I mean, Nintendo obviously has no problem with getting games to play just fine on that console. So the fact that Pokemon, which doesn't look that like wild, struggles so much, it's bizarre. It's truly bizarre, honestly. Yeah, it's Temtem on Switch. I don't think it's on Switch, but it is on Steam. I don't know of any console release for it, though. Hydrate, by the way. Of course, Destiny, of course. What's up, Jimmy Chonga? All right, let's talk about why he hasn't tried to escape.
Every time I look for a way out, I get twisted around and end up back here. But I'm too
Just getting
smart.
lost. What's an executive decision,
You seem to have no
Chimichanga?
trouble, though. Look at you, barely a scratch. You'd be the perfect person to protect.
So I gotta escort him out. Is that what's going on? Pokemon game like Breath of the Wild, then you should play Legends Arceus, which practically is Pokemon Breath of the Wild. I haven't played it myself, but it looks incredible. Like I've heard very good things. Well, yeah. Then there's the hold on. This Dolphin emulator for Nintendo games. Yeah, not Switch obviously. But yeah, Dolphin's a very good emulator. Yeah, Dolphin's great for GameCube and Wii. Yeah, Steam Deck with emulators is a pretty valid use case, I would say. Oh, that sounds awesome, Chimichanga. Yeah, congratulations. Going back for the degree. That sounds great, bud. It's a big undertaking, but yeah, that sounds great. It's very dangerous here.
This place is a nightmare. Knights everywhere, these priests, and whatever they've done to fellas. Listen, those people in Passwall need me. Can you imagine how they'd ever get along?
Oh, right, I forgot. This guy's
here?
like, he's got a gigantic ego. So, yeah, I remember this now. Every time we would talk to him, he'd be like, wow, you want to talk to me? He must be a nerd, holy fuck. And just kind of walk off. This time he's like, wow, everyone needs me so much.
I'll do what I can to help. I like to hurt things. Maybe I can hurt these damn knights.
So we got a follower now. I need to, like, escort him back. How's about this? I'm gonna have you follow me for a bit. I'm gonna plant you right here. Actually, well, not right here, I guess. We go out... Oh, wait, yeah, it is right here. It is right here.
Can we get out of here?
Have him stay right here.
What's wrong with you? I'll be killed. Take me with you, please.
I'll come back for you in a bit. Don't worry. In fact, I'll save. I'll make a safety save. Just to be safe. Just to be safe. The ROM hacks. There are some really good ROM hacks out there, though, Pias. That is a valid thing to point out. No shame in that, because, yeah, there's some good-ass ROM hacks out there. Some wild and, like, weird ones, but good. Going back for it, yeah. I like I said, I'm sure it's an undertaking. I've no friends that have gone in on law school, but I have not experienced it in any capacity myself. I just went for computer science degrees, so just a engineering degree, but yeah, I'm sure law school is, it's probably daunting. It's probably quite a lot. Did he burn his clothes? Burgundy linen shirt. Or maybe this is where the fella, the gentleman was chilling in the meantime. While trying to find his way out. Although it's weird because this place isn't like that much of a maze. I guess maybe he doesn't have the map that I have, but still, this place isn't that hard to navigate, so it's a little bit surprising that he's having such troubles. It's actually pretty good timing because I wanted to have that extinguished for when we do this. And I get a sneak attack on the priest first. Oh, heck. I was gonna see if I can take out that priest first, that would be nice because those priests are annoying. Disarm me again. God, man, these guys are very good at disarming. Got my backup. The noises they make are interesting. They sound like machines more than creatures, which is probably what they are. They're probably constructs more than anything. There's Dawnfang. Oh, there's our third hammer broken, and fourth. We just broke 3 hammers right in one fell swoop there. No big surprise there, honestly. Let's get the torches back out. Whoop. So is that Phallus, by the way? No, it's just Priest of Order. I wonder if we're gonna see Phallus at all. Phallus the fella. Wow, a lot of soul gems. Wowzers. Wonder why they have so many soul gems. Maybe they need to use those to, like, enhance, to enchant all the weapons these guys got. Oh, the kitty cats were excited for Joey getting home. That's cute. A lot of calculus. I had a pretty good amount of math. Yeah, the thing about the university that I attended is that I had to take so many computer science majors have to take so many math classes that the way it ends up is that at the very end of the program you have to take one of 3 like level 400 electives, and the options were differential equations, linear algebra, or calculus 3. And if you took diffie-q or linear algebra instead of calculus 3, if you took either of those, you automatically get a math minor for free. So I have a minor in mathematics, even though I didn't really do anything to get out of my way for it. It just kind of, I just kind of got it already just for funsies. So so yeah, that was like how kind of my university handles computer science and like math requirements. So yeah, quite a lot of math, and I had to do Calc 1 and 2, so a full year of calculus, which isn't like crazy, but quite a bit though. Quite a bit more than I was, expecting going in, but it's not a bad thing necessarily. I'm very okay at math. I'm not great. I'm sufficiently average when it comes to math. So mostly B's and a couple of C's, but you didn't hear that from me. Sketching a map. Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know if NPCs have like the map functionality that we have. We could just look at this. Maybe this is just our player character powers or something. Or maybe you're saying, Meerkat, sometimes when you play games you would make maps, because back in those days, like early 90s adventure games, you did have to manually make maps for like old school dungeons, like dungeon crawling games. Some of those areas were really hard to navigate without them. Are they powered by soul gems? They might be. They might be. I mean, I don't know about Atronox. Like, smack this? I know it said that I need to find a way to shut down the obelisk. Oh, here we go. Obelisk does not respond. It just spawns another friend. So I will kill the friend. Oh, fuck. That one did fall at my feet that time. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Pure odor sword. Not all constructs, but some, yeah. Yeah, maybe that would explain how, like, Atronox function. I mean, I think these are considered Atronox, or not Atronox. These might be considered constructs. They don't have any soul gems, but they do have the Heart of Order, which is inside of them in some degree. Bonk. I don't know if I've ever actually disarmed one of these guys myself. I just love to disarm us. Crystal chest, you say? Use a Heart of Order to? Yes, I will do that. Actually, we saw another one of these elsewhere. We saw another one of these chests elsewhere, and I had no way to open it then. I think it was outside of... I think it was outside of one of the main areas we'd visited in the overworld area. Like, within the Shivering Isles. I don't think it was outside of one of the town areas, but I think it was somewhere else. It's not our first crystal chest we found. So landlord stuff, copyright stuff, good. Yeah, that all sounds fantastic. Calculus and math would matter much for computer science. It's the thing about computer science and like logic and like that kind of stuff is that like all computer stuff is math. It's just it's like specific flavors of math. Like because how often have I personally had to use calculus at my day job? The answer is 0. I've never had to use derivatives or calculate derivatives or calculate integrals with for my job. There are some there's some older code that I work with that does use calculus formulas for some things. But yeah, I myself have not had to use any calculus. So I think it's less about learning calculus specifically for computer science, and I think it's more about just getting used to dealing with high order math, because yeah, it's like you have to think about you have to think in terms of algorithms, and algorithms are basically recipes. Like it's like a set of instructions and recipes on telling a computer to do things. And computers, well, as their name implies, they compute. And it's all just, adding things together and calculating memory addresses and that kind of thing. And a lot of it is not crazy stuff. Usually it's fairly basic arithmetic in the grand scheme of things, but then ordering things together and trying to understand how like how the logic of certain functions will work, and you try to cover all the bases for if else statements, all that kind of stuff, like all those kinds of, I guess we call them logic gates, all those kinds of decision points where things can happen based on certain conditions being met. Like it's, I guess I think the term sometimes used is discrete mathematics. Discrete mathematics is like that's like the flavor of math that is most relevant to computer science. So yeah, calculus not so much. Linear algebra, maybe a little bit of linear algebra sometimes, but it's fairly niche. Yeah, the most important math class was discrete mathematics, from my degree at least. It's probably different at other shops. I'm sure there probably are software development firms that do use quite a bit of calculus. Maybe places that do stuff with more physics-based things and just things along those lines. But yeah, a lot of it probably is more just like a question of is your brain able to like think in terms of how a computer can like, oh, here we go, place the Heart of Order, which I do have. I have lots of Hearts of Order. What the heck? Weird that it wasn't letting me click it earlier, but it lets me click it now. Maybe it wants me to click the base, not the middle. But yeah, it's like a question of is your brain able to like think in terms of how a computer can like recognize statements and recognize the algorithm that you're telling it to do, the recipe, the list of instructions, that kind of thing. Because yeah, you kind of have to think in a certain way. You kind of have to turn your perspective a certain way when you're like writing code or reading code, that kind of thing. So it's like I usually kind of bristle at the idea when people say, "Oh wow, software development, you must be really smart, Alex." It's like, whoa, it's nothing like that. It's the kind of thing where anybody who is into software development has various levels of experience and expertise. I'm pretty average, honestly. I don't think I'm amazing, but I think I'm all right. I can get by, and I like to think I'm pretty adaptable most of the time. But I work with people who are brilliant, and I work with people who are like still kind of learning. They're still kind of getting there. So it is more. I usually describe it like software development is more just like a different way of working with stuff, like just kind of like how there's different people who excel with creative writing. There's people who excel at reading through historical accounts and like picking apart like the important bits and like seeing how they relate to modern times. There's people who excel at interviewing someone and like really getting to know what they're getting at and like write up a summary for it, journalism, that kind of thing. Like there's all these like different facets, and computer science and software development is just one of many fields like any. I don't see it as better or worse than any other. But yeah, it's like I remember like there was kind of a watershed moment where when I was doing like in my intro computer science courses, where I kind of figured out that like it kind of clicked, and I was like, okay, all the things we do with computers, it all just comes down to like how can every little action be boiled down to like what's the simplest way I can tell a computer, do this calculation, do this calculation, and then take that number, go over here, plug that number in, go over here, plug the number that from that function into this guy, and like there's all these interlocking parts. Because for a while there, it was just this mysterious black box, and it was like I had like no grasp on how computers worked. But yeah, like one or two courses in, it started to kind of click a little bit more. Good memories, so memorize. Oh, for the maps, yeah. Is he a follower? Yes, he is a follower, absolutely. Did I learn more in school for my job? I would say I learned more on the job by a very wide margin. I mean, I've learned a lot in school. The stuff I learned in school, like I was just kind of saying earlier, the stuff I learned in school was instrumental with like priming my brain on how to, second heart, yes, on how to learn. On kind of how to learn. I think that's the right term for it. I mean, I learned C++ when I was in college. I learned C# when I was in college as well. Now, I did learn some programming languages, but you don't go to college to learn programming languages. You go to college to learn how to learn programming languages. You kind of learn like the general facets. You learn object-oriented programming. You learn some basic tenets of UI design and user experience, user interaction, databases. You know, you learn about databases. So there's a lot of things you learn, but it's more at like you learn like low level stuff to like do your programming assignments. You know, you learn like stuff on the kind of on the trenches, but you also learn at the top level. Here's how these things should work. Here are the good programming practices in a general sense. Here are things to do. Here are things to avoid. Here's why certain things are the way they are, because we do learn very low level computer interactions with like a assembly code. It's like there was a computer architecture course I took that was like much closer to the ones and zeros, you know, much closer to the nitty gritty than the higher level stuff like C# and C++. But yeah, so the stuff in college was good, but yeah, the stuff that's more relevant was learned in the industry, especially with like regards to like working with other people, you know, group projects and like working within a corporation for better or for worse. That's its own nightmare, obviously, that they can't possibly teach that in college. So I would say like it was more or less what I expected, where I didn't expect to know everything going in. You know, after getting my degree, there was going to be a lot I didn't know until after I had some years in industry. Caverns are coming down around me. Time to get the fuck out of Dodge. Which means let's hope our buddy didn't get got. Really? Can you just not? Can we just focus on survival? Ouch. Nope. Let me just get stun locked for a full 10 seconds. Now, I don't know if there actually is like a rush. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that there is. Hey man, you still alive? He is, but only barely.
Can we get out of here?
The guy was like, I'll talk down to your level, but then he's like, oh right, can we leave because I'm scared. I'm scaredy. Yeah, you never got a degree. Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, had a mind for it. I'm sure there are people like that. I've yet to work with anybody myself who was like a badass savant who didn't have a degree or anything, but I know that they are out there for sure. I mean, there's people out there that well, honestly, the people out there that are like that, who are like savants who never got degrees, they're probably people who are able to work as consultants, where if they don't have like a specific employer, they're probably able to just, you know, sell their services to the highest bidder. So they probably wouldn't really want to work for like a single employer. They would probably want to, you know, shop around a lot and, you know, jump around to different projects. But no, I've worked with very brilliant people, and I went to college with very brilliant people, and then I also work with people like myself who are pretty average. There's something to be said for the kind of software developer who isn't like a visionary, you know, isn't like a Steve Jobs or a Bill Gates, or, you know, these super successful, super brilliant people that have like, you know, the best and brightest ideas and can do anything. Because those are the people that do a lot of cool stuff, but those people tend to be very ambitious, and they don't have I don't want to speak too broadly or too like you know, paint too many people with too wide of a brush, but there was this article I read a little while back called "Let's Hear It for the B Players." It was about software developers, and it was talking about how the A players, like the A team, the best of the best, they're the ambitious ones that want to be the next Steve Jobs. They want to make the next Amazon, the next Google. So they want to go to the cool stuff and build cool shit. Who can blame them? But then when it comes time to maintain the things they built, they lose interest. They want to do the next big thing. So they'll jump around to lots of different companies. They won't always stick around in one place because they get bored easily, and they want to go to like the next big thing. They're always hungry. Then you have people like myself who are average. I'm not brilliant. I'm just okay. And I'm not very ambitious. I want to, you know, earn a paycheck, and I want to support my hobbies, but I don't want to be the next Steve Jobs. I just want to fucking, you know, live my life and be chill. So they were saying like the B players are the ones that stick around, the ones that maintain stuff that the visionaries make, you know, that we need both, obviously, but it was pointing out how some places only want the best of the best of the best. They only want fucking, you know, Yale 4.0 GPA graduates, and it's like, what about the, you know, fucking bumfuck nowhere, Southern Illinois, GPA 3.3. You know, what about that? These folks who are perfectly fine, they're just not amazing. So it's like when you limit to only the best, you're losing some in the process. So I thought it was an interesting perspective, and it kind of gave me oh, here we go. Now it's open. Kind of gave me at least an appreciation for like different kinds of software developers, or just in general different kinds of people, and what they want out of life, what they want out of a career, what they want out of look at that, we can't go back now, because everyone's situation is different, and everyone has different things they can stomach and things they have patience for. It's still coming down, so I think we still have to rush. I think we're still going in a hurry. Oh boy. Actually, that was satisfying, the way it fucking exploded that motherfucker. Oh. Trying to keep this man alive and not get crushed to death, if I can help it. Was that? Oh, it was him. I was like, did he just talk to me? No, it was this fella. Try to heal him up, because we got shit to go. We got shit to do, rather. Shit to go and do. Are you healed? You're pretty healed. Can we go this way? The map is ever changing. Oh, in fact, it's all completely new. I like how it's called the Fells, because it's all falling down. Oh, thank you, Piazza. No, I like talking about this stuff. You could probably tell I get like excited and animated about it, because excuse me, I have a lot of thoughts about, you know, how these things work, and I've had a lot of, not a ton, but I like to think I've had a decent bit of experience with regards to working with different kinds of people, taking different kinds of courses, and you know, I don't want to make it sound like, well, I've you know, done everything. Like I'm an experienced world traveler and I know everything. It's like I'm still learning, just like all of us, honestly. But look how quickly we're killing things, bro. That's kind of satisfying. Oh, dead end. But one of the things I will say is, yeah, you approach your mid-30s and you sometimes do sit back and go, wow, you know what? I actually have experienced things. That's kind of neat. I've experienced good things and bad things, but it's like you have life experience you can kind of call upon. Also, we're not one-shot killing things anymore, and I'm kind of sad about it. You fucking knocked my weapon away. That's so not nice. Well, thankfully that my homie over here fucking murdered these bastards for me. I mean, we kind of weakened them down for him, but he fucking finished him off like a champ. That was sick. Can we just go out this way? Or is it locked? It's opened elsewhere. I think we saw this gate earlier, actually. Is that the way we need to go? Let me heal you up. Looks like you got injured again. Japanese curry. Didn't have any curry oh, the curry stock, right? Yeah, get the cubes for him, right? Yeah, so you can melt him in the pot. You have some you can go out and buy. Blackbird. So yeah, curry stock is kind of important for making curry. Carrot, potato, onion, and just some taco fillings, Blackbird. That is perfectly valid. We were just talking about tacos earlier. So here's the button. It'll open up the exit, I do believe. It is open. No way.
I don't think this thing is gonna open again. You are the worst escort in history. I'll find another way out. Get going.
I mean, you can just open the button again, or press the button again. Just don't die. Maybe, if you can help it. Alright, good luck. Good luck not dying. It's all going down. It sounds amazing, though. Yeah. Yeah, curry is always a good time. I've actually never made my own curry. Maybe I could petition with Gracie to see if she'd be down to have that be our next cooking adventure, is a DIY curry adventure. Also, I heard battle music, but then these guys got fucking exploded, so I think they got obliterated by the things falling down. This like sequence is actually pretty sick because I like the crystals popping up everywhere, but I also like how this place is falling apart. It's much more involved than I was expecting it would be. There you are. You alright, fam?
Look at this. I found
Great, thanks. I can't talk to him, by the way. Yeah, I can't open the gate. Well, let's assume there's something else that can be done. Oh. Yeah, these guys have 1 HP, because the fact they die so easily is fun, but unexpected. Is this a dead end? Yep, absolutely. One-hit enemy. We actually had, when earlier, we had a sneak attack, a successful sneak attack against one of the priests, and it killed him instantly. So yeah, we definitely had some one-hit kills. But then these guys also get the one-hit kills, and it's pretty fun. Alright, oh, we found a way out. Back to the friends we go. And our buddy did make it out with us. That's fantastic. Where's my degree? I'll say for privacy reasons, I won't say the name of the university, but I went to college in Illinois. It's probably not hard to figure out, honestly, but I went to college in a place in Illinois, and like I actually have a few coworkers that also went to the same college. I've mentioned that one of my buddies, who is one of my coworkers and also one of my college friends, he's the one that's been having those health problems I mentioned earlier. He pops into the stream sometimes, so sometimes we'll regale each other with stories of the good old days. Taco bowls, yeah, that's fantastic. So you'll be able to reuse the meat, obviously. So yeah, just to have like a taco bowl, or you go out and get yourself some shells, just some shells by themselves, and later on you could fashion like proper tacos if you were so inclined. And so ask her how the battle above ground went, because everything fucking exploded down there. We of course can't get back in. Well, I guess we can, but there's really no benefits to doing so.
I'm going to stay here and help rebuild this place.
Talking to him while he's in the water. Wading through the water. And no gracious thanks for saving him, by the way. Although I do like how we got the sword from one of the dudes. Stole one of the swords and use that against them. Oh, she's fighting things and she got knocked unconscious. Let's go see how it went. Or how it's going, rather. I think she's probably the only one left. Oh no, there's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch. Oh, you're alive. Did he just run up and murder her? He just ran up and murdered her. She must have been at like 1 HP. That's unfortunate. Couldn't save her. And I sure love getting stun locked. Woo! And then got some airtime. She keeps getting knocked down, although she's got the plot armor that keeps her alive. She can get knocked unconscious, but not killed. Not killed. And here she is. She's alive.
Mad God's blessings, your grace.
Just like, hold up, I gotta heal because I got fucked up earlier, fam. It's a shame she got, man. Yeah, Dreadwin. With her 157 gold. She was very sad. She was like very sad and like and kind of sickly, so I guess it's not terribly surprising, but still unfortunate.
I'm going to stay here.
Okay, same basic message. Whoop. Wrong spell. Almost just blasted him in the ass because I had the wrong thing selected.
I cannot believe it. You survived. We were certain that your light had been lost.
She's almost disappointed.
I apologize for doubting you, your grace. You are a most worthy leader. Perhaps the greatest warrior to ever hold the seat of Mania.
The greatest. What's up,
but
JD?
I fear that our work is not yet done.
Speaking of great ones.
The area is still overrun with knights that were not destroyed in the spire. You should return to the palace and speak with Sheogorath. Ask him how he plans to defend this realm.
Alright, well. We've won the battle, but the war still rages. Rages and wages. Yeah, look at that. The spire is gone. Big old spire that was right here. It has collapsed, and with it, we've, done good. It means no more gray lads can spawn in. Being tunneled in from, wherever. What's the fella's name? Yeaglith? Yeagith? The Yeag friend. Wherever he's tunneling in the Order lads, it sounds like they can't just teleport directly into here anymore, at least not for the time being. Let's go back to Sheogorath and see what the next choices are. Next options are. fact... Oh, that's kind of weird. It wants me to... I figured I would just go out back to... Oh, what the heck? I can't actually fast travel to Sheoth anymore. Well, that's a little bit weird. Let's go back to the realm of madness and see what the options are. Things might be shifting already then. Because, yeah, you'll note that, yeah, there's no fast travel options. That's a little bit sus. Is there an option to join the side of order? I don't know. I would assume probably not. We were talking earlier how, like, usually Bethesda games don't have that kind of, like, game, like, completely lore-altering player choice. There are some player choices for sure. You know, the question of, do we become the Duke of Mania or the Duke of Dementia? You know, which side do we default to, that kind of thing. So, like, there are some choices, but I think that's a choice we probably won't be given. There might be mods for it, though, to enable something like that. Some Xenoblade, JD. I'm guessing you probably played the other Xenoblade games, right? To wear a decent suit of armor. Are you trying to imply, Corey, that armor that barely covers nipples and like bikini areas is not always sufficient protection in video games? Because, you know, glorified bikinis are really all we need. Like, that's where most of the damage gets magnetized to. Like, you know, you're playing a video game, you play as a lady character, and a bad guy fires an arrow at you. You can actually pause or, like, slow down the footage and see the arrows, like, alter their course and get magnetized to the nippular areas. So it makes perfect sense to just have, you know, very little covering elsewhere. It's good to see you, by the way, Corey. Animation of nipple armor deflecting swords. Corey, do you remember we were playing a bunch of Elder Scrolls, a bunch of EDF 4.1, and we would be playing as wing divers because the wing divers were super fun, obviously. But like every 10 times we'd be playing wing divers, we'd hear the AI, the NPCs, be like, "Now remember, the wing divers wear very little armor to keep themselves nimble on the battlefield and stay agile to avoid enemy attacks." And then you see the wing diver outfit, and it's like clearly a skirt. It's basically a bra, very generous jiggles. It's like, oh yes, that's why. All right. It's like the game's doing that thing where it's like, shut up guys, or there's a valid reason, I promise. Stop it, stop making fun of me. Same energy. As long as the nips are safe. Yeah, the nips and the bikini area, that's apparently all video games and most like nerdy fantasy things care about, let's be honest. Xenoblade 1, 2... Oh, and 3 is also good? Fantastic. They are super... Yeah, that's the thing. Wing divers are always the most fun. And Corey, I know you guys have been playing the newest one, right? EDF 5. And also... Iron Rain is what it's called. There's like a few spin-offs, of course. Oh, right, we lit the torch. That's a thing we did, yeah. And then we... Ulfri. Oh, right, because we kind of... Well, she's not dead, is she? Well, maybe she is. Actually, hold on. I'm actually gonna go investigate. These little items, for anybody curious, these little items are... Oh, Thadon's blood, right? We did that. We did do that. These are like little place markers to show our progress in the main quest. It's actually pretty cool. But... Yeah, let's check in with the House of Dementia, see how everyone's doing, because they got very not happy with us previously. And everyone's gone. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe What's-Her-Face did die. Oh, maybe she was the lady in the... Yeah, maybe she was the lady in the entrance to where we got the torch. Yeah, because we would have fought a bunch of the Dark Seducers. I think, okay, yeah, I think I remember now. I think Ulfri was one of the Dark Seducer guards, one of the Dark Seducer captain. Yeah, she was the captain, that's right. So she is separate from the bodyguard for Seal. You see the underwear yeah, it is very gratuitous. But like JD said, the wing divers are a lot of fun. PlayStation exclusive. Because yeah, EDF 5 is out, but I guess 6 is the newest one. EDF 5 is good, it's similar. Some good quality of life chain. That's good, actually. That's really good. Playing the same yeah, I remember that shit, Corey. We had to like grind that shit grind that shit single player to get like a livable amount of health. It was definitely frustrating.
Yes, is there something you require?
Is there something you require? Expansion size quest. That's impressive, actually. It is, yeah. And I guess it's the thing. It's all kind of tongue-in-cheek anyway. They're kind of in on the joke, so it's valid. It's a fair thing. It'd be cool to get back into EDF at some point. Sounds like Jet's played quite a bit of EDF, so yeah, maybe we could get some games going for that at some point. I also still have like in the back of my mind of like things I want to do. I still also want to get some multiplayer Noita at some point, because I was watching one of my buddies about a month ago, Alias, the guy we did the Halo race with yesterday. I was watching him like a month or so ago, and he was doing Noita together, but with like a small group. Instead of having an open lobby with like, you know, a bunch of people with lots of different skill levels, he had curated a small like group of like 3 or 4 people with skill levels similar to his own, and that was a lot of fun to watch. And I was like, I bet that'd be kind of cool, because I've done Noita together single player, and I've done Noita together with large lobbies, but it'd be cool to do like a curated, like predefined group. That's still on my list of things to go back for. It's like seek people who'd be down for just some multiplayer Noita, but ideally nobody that knows the game perfectly, because you get the badasses in there, and it doesn't spoil the fun, but I like it when everyone's like around the same general area.
In the fringe, you can see for yourself the devastation that accompanies the Grey March. Let us hope you are up to the task of stopping it.
Yeah, no pressure. Oh, for marking your I see what you're saying, Jim. Because yeah, I do like that aspect of little progress markers. The commander of the Dark Seducers was right. In Sylarn, yeah, that's exactly it, Blackbird. That was Lady in Sylarn. I thought she was Syl's bodyguard, because Syl has a similar helmet. Or Syl's bodyguard has a similar helmet, and Ulfri did not have any helmet at all. But I think that's more representative of her stature, her state. The Rangers were cool. I was always I would say I default to the Wing Diver. Although Rangers were cool, Lancers were awesome, but like very intimidating to get into. They seem like hard mode.
The appearance of the Knights of Order heralds the beginning of the Grey March. As Lord Sheogorath feared, our time grows ever shorter.
Multiplayer shenanigans, JD says. Do you have 5? EDF 5? Because I think that's probably the newest one that we all have access to on PC at least.
Although they are not composed of flesh, as you know it, like any other enemy, they can be destroyed with sword and spell.
Oh no, 20,000 health?
Separate the meat from
bone,
boy, and they will die. When they do so, their crystalline hearts often remain intact. These hearts are a source of power for the agents of Order. You may find them quite useful in certain situations.
I do find them useful. But yeah, you got up to 20,000 health. I'm guessing you probably did the Heart Mage trick, right? Now the temple. Oh, polymorph. Oh no. Oh no. That's so heartbreaking, Corey. I'm so sorry. Had to get got by that way, man. That's when Jets got fantastic. That's awesome. Heartmate stuff, yeah. That's the only way. Either that or play the game for like 12 hours in a single run. But yeah, Heartmage is the way to do it for like getting big health. And you kind of need to if you want to do the Sun Quest. I don't know if you've attempted anything like that, Corey, but there's like the crazy shit. The Sun Quest or the Dark Sun, just like stuff that just surely nobody in a vacuum discovered this. It had to have been discovered by a community of people deep diving into the game. It's staggering though. It's incredible just how much nutty stuff is in that game. Just the scale of things you can do in that game is just incredible.
Unlike
and terrifying.
Typical invaders, the knights do not arrive by conventional means. Instead, they enter the Shivering Isles through conduits into this realm.
Yeah, the portals and tunneling like they were talking about.
These crystalline obelisks have existed throughout the realm for all of eternity. You will find they become more active as the Grey March progresses.
Inferno EDF, I've only played 4.1, so I am as inexperienced. I'm very inexperienced compared to most when it comes to EDF. Because the Iron Rain is a thing. I think also there's 1 or 2 other EDF spin-offs that are on Steam, but yeah, 4.1 is the only one I've played.
Lord Sheogorath has never succeeded in doing so. They continue to grow in numbers until Jiggalag himself arrives.
Jiggalag, that's the guy's name,
Their
right?
advance can be slowed. By destroying the obelisks, the knights lose their conduits into the Isles.
3 or 4 side, but yeah, I'm pretty much in the same position, Corey. I've beat the game, but yeah, I've only done a few side things. I've killed the Alchemist. I've killed The dragon I've killed. I killed the bridge boss, the pit boss, whatever. I came real close to killing the Forgotten, but I fucked it up, and I'm still salty about it because I destroyed the eye like a dingus. Destroyed the eye. That might be it. I think that might have been all the side bosses I've killed. The dragon hardly counts though, because the dragon's like pretty easy to kill, as long as you know what you're doing. I've explored a bunch of side areas. So like I explored the Lucky Cave, Lucky Cave. And I explored the obviously the Alchemist Chamber, but like also the area below the Alchemist Chamber and the frost and the frozen laboratory area.
Very well, your...
So I feel like I've done a lot, but yeah, bosses, I still have much to learn.
The obelisks operate by reflecting and focusing energies in order to create a portal to this realm. They can be overloaded and rendered inert by placing the crystalline hearts of the night.
Oh, difficult. Oh, okay. Probably not then. Probably not Inferno level then.
Of the obelisk until it eventually overloads and shuts down, closing the portal.
Yeah, we probably didn't get to Inferno then. Inferno sounds redonk.
Well, look who's here.
For a minute there, I thought he didn't have his cane.
News of your success in the Fringe precedes you. To further cement the victory, I have an important task for you to perform.
Oh boy.
You will seek the assistance of Relmina Vernum in the
Oh, that lady.
to rebuild the Gatekeeper.
Not her.
You remember? The creature.
She does not like me. I did kind of murder her child. To death.
With the Gatekeeper restored and Zadillion in operation, we won't have to worry about anything getting in. Things already here are another matter. You'll need to speak with Relmina Vernum. She'll help you with your task. Strange woman has some unusual tastes. With that done, the Fringe should be secure. For now. I can feel things start to get a little hairy. And not in the good way, like on your head.
I can feel my ass getting hairier by the second. So yeah, that lady, she does not like us because we killed the Gatekeeper. The Gatekeeper was like her son or her child that she birthed. So she's gonna create a new Gatekeeper. Does that mean... Does Sheogorath want us to impregnate that lady ourselves? She talked about how like she created that the Gatekeeper and how she was like, I birthed him myself, and it was a very bloody birth, and I'm like, wow. All right. So, I don't know if we really want to just wait around 9 months, but maybe there's some other aspect to this. Maybe there's more to this than meets the eye. I'll trust him to lead us correctly, but I'm just like, I don't know, man. We're gonna have to try to convince her to be okay with the fact that we killed her child. You know, we killed the Gatekeeper, which she birthed, and she was none too happy about it.
It's all moving faster than I'd expect, and I'm good at expecting. Things are getting a bit thin. Get that Gatekeeper in place, and do it quickly. I'm not sure how much time I have left.
So we did do oh, maybe like the earlier levels, Corey. Yeah, that's probably it. Maybe not the higher ranks. Yeah, we certainly didn't beat like the game with Inferno level, but we did. Yeah, we probably went back and did some of the earlier levels with Inferno difficulty. Falls down the mechs. Yeah, the engineers, I think. Yeah, they get some crazy shit. The giant fucking mechs that you can use to punch and stomp the ants and shit. So satisfying, man. Murder to... I know, Jen, I know. I don't feel good about it, man. I just did what the game told me to do. I didn't feel good. I did enjoy it, but I didn't feel good about enjoying it.
He's almost here. I can feel it. You won't like him as much as me. He doesn't even carry a
Oh,
cane.
Air Raider, that's what it's called. Okay, I thought it was... Yeah, Air Raider, I think that's right.
Type of prince. If he's on his way, I'm on my way out. I already feel not quite myself. Not quite someone else, but not quite myself.
It seems like what's it called? The Lancer? The Lancer and the Air Raider classes are probably like the harder classes to play. Like harder to master, but if you can master them, their abilities are incredible. So it's like you are rewarded, it seems, by having the patience to learn those classes.
It's essential. Simply essential. If only it were essentially simple.
Fencer, thank you. That's what it's called.
I want him there guarding those gates. If any of Jiggleag's forces show up, he should be ready for them. It wouldn't do to just let them in if more show up. And more always show up. Still and all, I think things are going well, considering. Go talk to Relmina in Zosselm. Tell her you're working for me. Oh, she'd do anything for me, that little minx.
All right, she was very thirsty for Sheogorath, and honestly, who could blame her? Really, a lot of ad-libbed. It probably is Jet. Although that's a good point. Jet is a pretty experienced voice actress. So yeah, I'd be curious to kind of hear your thoughts on this man's delivery style, because I like his voice acting a lot.
A powerful sorceress, maybe a genius, and a complete lunatic. All in all, my kind of person. I brought her to my realm so she could continue to study her sixth element. Honestly, I didn't know there were 5 already. She's a bit obsessed with it. And with me. Makes dealing with her difficult. You shouldn't have any problems, though. No one likes you that much.
Hooray! Wing Diver's hard just from like an armor skilling perspective. I remember getting fucked real good as a Wing Diver. That's a very good sentence, but it's also accurate because yeah, you get hit once and you're fucking dead in some of those higher order difficulty or missions. Although I think in multiplayer the damage is even less forgiving. So yeah, it's there. It was pretty rough.
Send Relmina my love. That'll get her going.
Oh yeah, well if you catch his drift. So nobody else was here in the House of Dementia. Let's check in House of Mania, see how they're all doing. And yeah, Ranger is also really fun to play. That's like the good classic class, like very I shouldn't say easy. Well, easier, at least more simple and more reliable. Now I am at the throne. That's me, king of the castle. All right, cool. Anyway. I see that Wide Eye nor the chef lad are here. I don't know why I can never remember his name. Actually, do they react differently now that I'm the Duke of Mania?
Welcome to the House of Mania.
They do not.
Go.
Go. So... What? Oh. Wasn't paying attention. Oh, we got an Atronach. Look at that. We are back, though. We are back. Nice little good old-fashioned crash from Oblivion that also took down Windows. It's happened plenty of times, but for whatever reason, it was extra spicy this time around. So this is the point where it crashed last time. I went to stab this motherfucker and the game exploded. Let's see if it's gonna explode again. And stab. Oh god. Uh-oh. Oh, that's scary. Oh, wow. Alright, well, it didn't crash. Wow, but it really got sad, though. Wow. Apparently, this Storm Atronach, or this Flesh Atronach, rather, is very special. He's, like, holding the game together, and if we kill him, or if we hurt him too bad, the game says, no, he's my baby, and then we get punished. Yeah, what's up, Priority? Priority says, what's going on? I'm scared. Yeah, I see. At first, it was supposed to be a meme. The game did crash, by the way. It actually did shit the bed. Maybe I'm not allowed to touch this lad. Maybe this is my punishment. If I hurt the game's favorite enemy, my punishment is game death or computer death. I'm gonna launch it one more time. I'm gonna roll the dice one more time. I'm gonna fight that fucking Atronach, and we're gonna see what happens. But I'm scared. I'm scared of all things, of all fucking things. That's wild. What the heck indeed. That shit's nutty. Good to see you, by the way, Priority. Third time is the charm, my friends. I feel good about this one. This time it's gonna work. We're gonna stab that motherfucker. Actually, I guess last time it was a slash, but still, we're gonna smack him with our sword. We're gonna be gamers. Nothing is gonna stop us. Actually, no, we're not, because the Atronach is gone. It's something else entirely this time. It is a replete shambles. I'm in shambles right now. Atronach enjoyers and shambles RN. Maybe it's for the best. Maybe if we see another Storm Atronach or a Flesh Atronach, we know it to be fearful. Deeply, deeply fearful. It's like it's launching a flare whenever it does that. We turn this fella. So he's so like all over the place. Calm down, goddamn. Wow, this motherfucker just wants to disappear, doesn't he? Good lord. Did I get him? That was an effective turning. I've never seen a turn. I guess the thing is these enemies are very fast, and most undead are not this fast. Maybe that's why it's a little bit extra squirrely. Excuse me. With extinguished alive. Good for us. Yeah, those are technically undead. These hounds of the skinned variety. Welcome back, Johnson. Bingo review? No, not yet. The stream actually has another hour, like we'll say hour left, because I started kind of late. So yeah, we still have a pretty good long way to go. I can't go crazily because of course it is, as we know it, it's a school night tonight. It's a work night, so I can't stay up super late. I have work in the morning, but I can go a little bit extra late because I started kind of late. One glitchy boy, yes, who would win? It was a big crash, Johnson. We actually had two crashes. The first one was the big one that brought the stream down. The second one was a standard crash. One more crash, and that's a bingo space right there. Darkest Dungeon. Oh, fantastic. Oh, yeah. Priority, that's Slay the Spire. Yeah, Darkest Dungeon. That is a very good gaming diet. And yes, I would say there's quite a lot of overlap between those two games. That's fantastic. We're going in this way, right? Zelsum. Yep, that's where we're going. Good shit. Yeah, that's on my list too. I've got Darkest Dungeon 1, at least on the Epic Games Store, I think. It was a free game at one point. One of the weekly free games sometime last year, so I sniped that shit. It was the good one. It was the good crash. That's right. It's a hard game. Yeah, I've heard Darkest Dungeon will paddle everyone's booty. But I've heard I've heard it's good, and I've also watched people play it on stream, and it looks very, very fun. It is on my list. It was good. Good. That's what I like to hear, Johnson. That is how those kinds of breaks should go. It should go positively. Sneak attack this mofo. Bam. Now you'll note all the purple. I wonder if this is the realm of the Dark Seducers. The purple makes me think of them specifically. It was an intentional crash. Yeah, it's a 1 in 10 chance. Anytime you strike a Flesh Atronach. Todd Howard really likes the Flesh Atronach. It's really his favorite. And he takes a personal offense anytime a player damages one. So he had one of the software developers for the game code in a special line that says, "Fuck up anybody who dares to harm my sweet special boy." Entering this cell. Do we drop frames for this area? I think the interior's been okay, but yeah, that exterior is a little bit spicy. Although, again, it was mostly with fighting the bad guys, of all things. That seemed like the most questionable ones. Woo. Oh, more of these slides. I probably should have been sneaky. But I was not sneaky. Ouch. Oh, you know what? It just occurred to me. I should have leveled up. There was an opportunity, and I passed it up like a fool. I'm a couple of I've been definitely due for a level. It's been a minute since I've done so. I was thinking about that earlier, but we saw that one bed, and my brain just kind of forgot all about it. Oh my gosh. I love getting stun locked for a long, long time. It's my favorite aspect of this game. Yep. More stun locks, please. Pretty please. Just delete the System 32 folder. It does help the computer run faster. Get that System 32 folder out of there. Don't do that. Any Windows users, do not delete your System 32 folder. I mean, really, Windows shouldn't let you do it, but just to be sure. I have a vested interest in making sure that my viewers do not explode the computers. It's hard to watch my stream on an exploded computer, after all. We've been here before. We've navigated it fully, we have. Yep, we've been this whole area. Experiment chambers, right? This area. Yeah, I remember this place. This place is pretty fucked up. It's interesting, and it's like interesting seeing the shit that they're up to, but it's also morally repugnant. The fucked up things they're doing. But it is interesting, though. Can't fault them for that aspect, I guess. I think we go in this way, don't we? Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. I think this is where we need to go. Linux users can delete it. Oh yeah, Linux users, you could fucking light your operating system on fire. Linux would be like, sounds good, fam, you're doing great. Yeah, Linux thrives with a lack of guardrails. I like to think Windows should hopefully prevent you from doing it, but I'm too scared to try it. What would happen? Yeah, I mean, yeah, if the contents of your System32 folder were to go away, it means your operating system would not function properly the next time you were to reboot, or it might even cause it to crash outright. But it would, it could at worst, it would potentially require you to reinstall Windows, which means reformatting your hard drive, which means losing all your data. So yeah, it could be bad. Could be quite bad. 80% speedrun. Yeah, paperweight speedrun percent. Not exactly a desirable category to speedrun. Although I will say it is kind of entertaining that there are people that will spin up a new VM, like a virtual machine. So basically like an emulated Windows environment. Or like, like an emulated computer inside the computer. That's what a virtual machine basically does. It's like an emulated computer that is like contained inside of your computer that runs off of your hard drive. There are people that will spin up like a new Windows 10 or Windows 7 or Windows 8 or maybe even Windows XP virtual machine, and then intentionally like give that virtual machine a bunch of viruses, like just download a bunch of dumb shit off the internet, delete System32. Like they'll intentionally like fuck up the VM beyond recognition, then just nuke it when it's done. Because if you do it right, it should be contained, so that nothing can sneak out into your into the computer proper, you know, into the other aspects. And I've seen people do that kind of stuff and do like make YouTube videos out of it, which is kind of fun. I know Joel's done a bunch of that kind of stuff. Welcome back, Blackbird. Recovering the data. Yeah, recovering the data, which, I mean, I guess if it's on your hard drive, well, I guess that's a thing though, like being able to recover it. Yeah, oh god, it's one of Todd Howard's favorites. All right, we got to be careful. All right, I'm gonna sprinkle my computer with holy water to see if it can allow me to attack this thing safely. All right, if my computer explodes, tell my family I love them. Here we go. Okay, so let us hurt him. It really is that exterior cell that makes it sad when we fight enemies, apparently. Very bizarre. Any more tongs or calipers? Thongs or calipers? They go along with what we were saying earlier. Yeah, I guess that, yeah, if your System32 folder is borked and you're trying to get into your operating system, I guess what you could do is maybe you could take out your hard drive and plug it into a different computer and maybe extract the contents that way. That could probably be legit. But yeah, that's of course if you have a second computer available to you. And also I guess it means that'd be a question of like if you, well, yeah, I guess it should work. Yeah, so I mean there probably would be recovery options, but still it would be pretty dicey. And there's a chance it could just nuke it entirely. You drop frame? Really? It dropped frames? Wow. Oh, you know, I actually have to drop some frames, yeah. That's a little bit worrisome. I think it's probably more of an internet thing. I don't think it'd be a computer thing. But, you're right, we actually have dropped not a small number of frames. It's a shame because my internet should be okay. But you know what? I'm not going to be living at this location that much longer, so if the internet is shit in the bed here, then I picked a good time to. I picked a good time to shit the bed. So we're going north. Going up this way. I remove the frame of a car while I'm driving it. Well, that's the thing about deleting your System32 folders, because like it would kind of make sense that it could be deleted while the computer is off when your operating system is not in use. But if the operating system is in use, it really should prevent you from deleting that folder or anything inside the folder. Should is the operative term. So yeah, the idea of like Windows just being like, all right, fam, go ahead and just fuck my shit up when it's, you know, when you're attempting something that will do potentially irreparable harm to the operating system. I'm pretty sure modern operating systems won't let you delete it, probably. But probably back in the day, there were fewer safeguards. Okay, that works too. If a car has its frame removed while the car is driving, is it technically a car anymore? I would say it's like the husk of one. The husk corpse of a car. It refuses to... Okay, good. Unless you go through a terminal. So you'd have to go through to great lengths. Which is probably the way to do it. Like, if a user is going to into that great of lengths to delete something so important, it's either because they know what they're doing or because they've been trolled so like meanly by somebody who gave them like an extremely specific set of steps to follow and said like, all right, now what, like one of those kinds of situations, someone's like trolling someone else and be like, all right, now do this thing, now go to this terminal, enter this command, all right, now Windows is gonna say don't do this ever, please, for the love of God, but don't worry, just trust me, bro. And the just trust me, bro turns into a, you know, a disastrous trolling attempt. So yes, this place. Are these people still down here? They're still down here. They probably haven't been fed this whole time. But literally one NPC is still alive. And no, I will not hit any buttons because I know better. There's the hunger versus shambles. But we'll take this. So that we've of course found no employees or researchers, just all kinds of fucked up shenanigans. When we were here last time, we definitely saw like all these notes. We saw all this lore. All this, like, indication of experiments that had gone down and experiments that probably will go down. And I remember thinking, like, well, we don't have any answers here, but I bet there will be quests. Or a side quest or main quest that will illuminate us with more info. I think this is one such case. In fact, it's the main quest, obviously. Very good. Do that again, hold on. He's not doing it again. He's just running at me, though, which is kind of cute. He's a good boy. Ouch. Do you think we were, like, running inside of me again? That was really cool. Thing is so jumpy. So wimbly bimbly. I'm trying to catch him by his tail. The turn undead's lasting a long time, by the way. God dang. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not a very complicated command, but it is a scary one. Is this a ruined castle? Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, this is a if it has that icon, it's a ruined castle. Or a keep. So I would say that absolutely counts. Glitchy NPC behavior? Well, it's not an NPC, it's a monster. So if anything, it'd be glitchy monster behavior. It's hoping you'd do it again, but no dice. Oh, wrong button. Trying to stay out, get a sneak mode. There we go. Bonk. I love that high kick where he like exposes his groin to us and then we stab it. So it's very, a very vulnerable space. Yeah. No, when I consider that the monster being that monster, like the thing where he was like spinning around us, I guess I would call that glitchy monster behavior. Yeah, there are separate spaces for glitchy monsters and glitchy NPCs. At one point they were one and the same, but I was trying to add more spaces to pad things out a bit, so I decided to separate them out. Yes, this. I remember this. Yeah, very fucked up stuff. Do we have a bingo board space for witness a fucked up torture scene? Because we got that shit in spades. I remember the failed experiments. Yeah, we killed them already, so they're dead experiments. Dead failed experiments. Well, you know what rhymes with failed experiment? Merriment. And there's lots of that here. Ouch. This guy's probably gonna stay dead. Yep. Hand scythe, looking for calipers or tongs. Or thongs. Oop, torch ran up. Again, more where that came from. Oh shit. The fire damage is negligible, but what's really annoying about that attack is the fact that the flames make it hard to see. Like, oh god, it blinds my face a little bit. The burnination damage is one thing, but the damage to my visuals is something else entirely. Is this still an option? We can watch these things fight. And I think we determined that the shambles will lose here, right? The beheaded shambles. I'll put them both in timeout. And then I'll kill them. Of course, they were both weakened anyway. Yeah, that was part of this guy's experiments. The weak old blood. Yeah, all these weird fucked up things these guys have been doing. I guess it's less fucked up since it's two undead and they're, you know, pretty like brainless, but still, it's still kind of generally considered fucky. Old zombie meats, delicious. Nothing here. Okay. 3D Fallouts, yeah. Yeah, it's a series I'm definitely interested in. I would say the most pressing Fallout game I myself would want to get into would probably be Fallout 2, actually. As I mentioned earlier, I've played the Fallout 1 and I really liked it. And I kind of want to play them in order. So I'm thinking next on my list would be Fallout 2, and then 3, and then New Vegas. So it would probably be a while, but they are on my list. I would like to get to them eventually. Yeah, that guy would get murdered instantly, so I'm going to not hit that switch. See if we can find a way to rescue that person if possible. Yeah, in the future. But yeah, it's on the list though, for sure, as far as like things I know I would really like to get to eventually. Go back up this way. I think this door was inaccessible previously. It was either locked or just magically not available. This fucking dude. It's nice being able to like fight these things without being fearful for the life of my operating system. And fight these things without worry of will my computer explode. 628 gold, by the way. That's a lot of money. God damn. I think this game is more or less kind of like, it kind of operates on the same scale as like Dungeons and Dragons, where like a single gold coin is a lot of money to, you know, like commoners, that kind of thing. Adventurers get big monies because they get lots of gold, obviously, lots of stuff, but I think that's like not exactly a standard. That's not like the living that an adventurer earns is quite high compared to the common folk. 95%. Yep, too real, man, too real. We've actually not been in the corpse pit previously, I don't think. So I'm going to dip my toes, dip my face into the corpse pit, and probably regret everything. It's, of course, not where we need to be, but when the name Corpse Pit presents itself, I can't not explore the Corpse Pit. Oh, I wonder why they call it the Corpse Pit. Well, I can make some guesses. Got all these corpses in the pit. It's the dumping ground, I guess. It's hazard pay. That's, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Or failed experiments. These appear to be actually dead. And are not, like, about to raise from the dead and try to spank us. But they're actually dead. Some of them not so much, though. Spin! Yeah, spin! He did for a couple seconds there. They're not particularly strong, and they're not particularly scary. There's a lot of them, obviously, which is just annoying. And they're also not hitting me at all? Oh, no, okay, now they're hitting me. Hey, what's up, Kev? And we got Funky Duckling. Good to see you, bud. Good game. It's a good game. It is a GG. I am enjoying my time with it. We've had some technical problems, which has been annoying, but the overall enjoyment level has been quite high. Nice and tasty failed experiments. Is this considered a cave? It's a good question. It's like a cave inside of a dungeon. We'll go ahead and count it, I guess, because it's like a sub-dungeon inside of a dungeon. It's not a full cave. We'll say since it's a partial cave, it kind of counts for the bingo, for anybody curious. And lots of these failed experiments. Failed Zombino experiments. Yeah, Kev knows. Kev recognizes the Shivering Isles happening right now. The definition of insanity, yeah. Well, I mean, the whole notion of this area we're in, you could probably recognize we're inside of Zalselm right now. Zaselm. And Zaselm is clearly a test chamber, or an experimentation area with, like, lots of test chambers where they're performing, like, really fucked up experiments on, I guess, yeah, people they capture. It turns them into zombies sometimes. And you know, like you can see like the notes just from some of the notes left behind in scrolls and pamphlets. You can see like the notes about how they're trying different experiments with different test subjects, taking different monsters, administering different kinds of poisons to them, removing certain amounts of their blood, injecting them with other kinds of blood, just taking notes about all the different fucked up things. So it's definitely a test facility of some sorts where some like truly repugnant things are going down. It's interesting, but it's also very fucked up. This is the man cave. Oh god, I sure hope not. I mean, Gracie and I joke about how the fact that I will have a man cave at our house once I move in. You know, I'll have a designated little Alex office area. And I tell people, no, it's called an office. It's not called a man cave. Because if I call it an office, it has a more grown up, a more like put together air of legitimacy about it. Whereas if I call it a man cave, it sounds, you know, it sounds juvenile. But then it's like, well, it's call it what it is, Alex. I will do my work from my office area because yes, that's where my computer will be. But I'll also play a lot of video games there, so it will. Let's be honest, it will most likely end up primarily being for nerdy shenanigans and indulgent nonsense. And using it for like actual work stuff is mostly an afterthought. You alright, fam?
Please indicate on a scale of 1 to 10 how much pain you are feeling at this moment.
They sound alright. I'm gonna leave that door for last. They seem like they're doing okay. Is there more Gatekeeper? Oh no, they're more of the Atronox. Sewn flesh Atronox. Failed experiments, of course. There's no rush. They're doing fine. They're doing fine. There's no rush. They're just slightly getting murdered to death or something. Avatar Frontier. Oh, really? I didn't realize there was going to be an Avatar game. Call it the Hobbit Cave? Really, I should call it my Hobbit Hole, Meerkat. Should be like, can I show you my Hobbit Hole, winky face? Or actually, if I'm streaming from there, I'll say, alright, I'm streaming from my Hobbit Hole. The Masturbatorium. That's the proper intellectual name choice, obviously. Tongs and calipers. And that's it, unfortunately. But I need lots of tongs and calipers for that one lad. He's a big fan of those tongs and calipers. Like how they got folded cloths so they're not naked. That's very considerate. Very dignified. That is a good one too. The Phalliceum. Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah, I love. The more I'm thinking about that one, the more I'm appreciating it. Don't you mind the shrill screams of terror and murder happening? It's fine. I don't know what experiment was being done here. There's no notes. So they're fighting each other, but the arrow traps can't really reach them. That leg attack is so goofy. It's like he's like saying, "Here's my testicles. Go to town, fam. Just fuck my shit up, please." Are these are Atronox? They are. We have seen them and we fought them. We killed a few. The movie, right? That explains it then. They wanted to release that. Yeah, that's a fair point. So we'll see when that gets released then, when that gets announced, I suppose. Left Zombie's gonna get it. You were right. You were right. Left Zombie got it. And his punishment is a swift death. And so that's indicative of some of the experiments these mofos have been doing. Some weird shit. So I think we came from this direction, didn't we? Yeah, we came from the experiment chambers. Anything else in here? Before we... Oh! You're here. Why are you here? This is all kind of fucked up. Let's save. I know who she is, and her presence here is concerning. She was, what's-her-name's understudy. She is or was Romina's understudy. And if she's here and there's screams of some unseen woman in pain...
Greetings. No way. I'm never talking to you ever again. After she found out what I told you, she... You have no idea what pain is until she... Just leave me alone. Go away.
Alright, so Nanette got tortured then, but she is alive. Alright, what's going on in here then? Let's find out. Oh. Okay, so no, she's alive. I was thinking she was getting tortured. No, she's very much alive. And she, of course, is responsible for all the torturings. Can't say I'm surprised. So that's what's happening here. She's resurrecting them. And then murdering them to death. She's taking notes. Not terribly surprised, honestly. Were there any trap kills? No, not yet, actually.
Please indicate on a scale of 1 to 10 how much pain you're feeling at this moment.
Scale of 1 to 10. There were environment kills earlier, though, when the walls were collapsing, as we were escaping that one dungeon area, and we saw the knights of order getting bludgeoned by like the rocks as they were collapsing. So those were environment deaths for sure for monsters. Nice switch it. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, Kev. She was like, "Oh God, I dare not speak it." Then she was like, "Well, anyway, get the fuck out." All right. So anyway, so yeah, we've established she is like with zero hesitation. Actually, hold on. What happens if she hits me with that shit?
Please stop. Is this too much pain?
Did we get hit by it?
You dare disturb me
Oh, okay.
in my I hope this is...
Oh no, hold on. I want to see what it does. Hit me with the resurrection spell and I'm already alive. I want to see. Okay. It did nothing. It looked cool though. Oh, does that mean he's just dead? No, he's still alive. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to her.
You! I remember you. You're the adventurer who slew my gatekeeper, are you not?
That's me. Any keys? Yes, I did get a key earlier. This one's for posterity. Yes, how do you feel on a scale from 1 to 10? Which pain is greater, 1 or 2? A or B? I needed to get in, let's be honest.
The ends justify the means, do they? You'll pay for that one day. Now, by all means, come right in. Walk in here as if you own the place.
That's what I did.
By what authority do you disturb me?
Authority's your Duke. We all know the authority she cares the most about.
I see. Sheogorath is too important to come on his own account. He sends his mortal lackey.
That's me.
Well then, I trust my servants didn't give you too hard a time getting in here? What is it Sheogorath's lackey requires of me?
The underlings weren't so bad. It was the fucking crashings, the windows crashing that was the worst part. Johnson got a bingo, very nice. If you want to send it our way, Johnson, we'll do a little checky check in a moment. Any silence spells tonight? I don't think so. None that I've been aware of, at least not yet. A new gatekeeper's required. Tips, Fedora, milady.
Ah, your tone is more in line with my station. Please continue.
She says, please, please, flattery will get you everywhere. Wink, winky face. Your powerful magic.
Yes, powerful magic indeed. It is proper that you bid me kindly, lest I show you the meaning of pain and suffering.
She does enjoy it.
Alas,
strangely.
I am still distraught over the destruction of my sweet child. I cannot return to his womb. You must do this.
All right, she wants us inside her womb. That's fucking weird.
Gardens of flesh and bone.
Not literally. Keep it in your pants. Yeah.
Needed for the ceremony.
Metaphorically, of course.
Go fetch me blood liqueur, osseous marrow, dermis membrane, and essence of breath.
You got it, fam.
And take this key. It will allow entry into the gardens and give you direct access to my sanctum.
Fantastic. And not moving fire. You're right, yeah. Well, time just kind of stops when we talk to NPCs, obviously. Also, Kipexa, good to see you, friend. Good to see you, Kipexa. Hope you're doing well. Shivering Isles, it's going very well. I'm enjoying myself a lot with it. I liked the base game, but I'd say I like this a lot more than the base game. So I think it's my favoritist so far. Maybe a link shortener to make it clickable. I could try that. I know that some people understandably are like hesitant about the shortened links. But yeah, maybe that would be worthwhile with like the distinction to say, yes, I promise this link is legit. Because you're right, the link is weird for sure. Then part of the timeline of the new movie. So yeah, because we don't want to spoil it, obviously, yeah. Let me try again. Yeah, Kev, I've seen that link too, that video. There's a few of those, I guess, but yeah, I know hers for sure.
You will travel to the gardens of flesh and bone and collect for me these things. Blood liqueur, osseous
All right, I've already heard
marrow,
this.
dermis membrane, and the essence of breath. Are you not the exalted Duke, slayer of the great Gatekeeper,
That's me.
champion of our mighty lord Sheogorath?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you'll be able to find these things. If not, perhaps Sheogorath's faith in you is misplaced. Go now. You try my patience.
We were like, yeah, how do I collect these things? She's like, oh, you'll fucking figure it out. Anything else?
Bring me.
Okay.
For many years, I labored painstakingly in those gardens until my back bent and my soul became crooked. But the fruits born of that labor were the essential components of true flesh. You will go there and gather the components needed to bring my new child into this world.
Anything else?
Oh, you mean my research
Oh, these things,
subjects?
yes.
Don't trouble yourself with their fates. They're volunteers of one sort and another.
Kind of, sort of.
Besides, they are furthering important research into the nature of pain and suffering, of life and death.
Oh, so nice.
Don't be concerned. I always return the worthy ones to life. Besides, Lord Sheogorath has sanctioned my studies and my methods.
Well, that's reassuring.
Any loyal servant of the Mad God would respect his decision in this matter.
Yes, Shivering Isle superiority. I did like the main quest. And Knights of the Nine was interesting. I did like that as well. The finale was kind of, I mean, I guess it really can't be that amazing. It was cool, but, and like the cinematic aspect of it was neat, but like the final fight obviously was pretty much nothing, but it was good. I mean, I've liked everything, but the Shivering Isles, I'm glad I saved the best for last, because if I would have done this first or sooner, the rest of this game would have paled in comparison. So this was definitely the right choice for me, at least. Oh, Koala, what in the world? Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Mr. Koala. You're very kind, my friend. Very kind for that raid. We were fortunate enough to get to catch part of Koala's raid last night, actually, which was a fun time. Because we did ourselves I bet like a 9.5-hour stream last night. And it was an awesome stream. We raced our friend AliasBot through racing through Cursed Halo, which was a very silly mod for Halo 1 on PC. And it was a very close race. We narrowly lost, but it was still a fun time. And afterwards, we sent all of our viewers over to Koala, and it was a really fun time. But thank you to Koala for that very generous raid. I appreciate you, buddy. Now, when I was queuing up the raid last night, I was telling people, it's like Koala and Mallory, they're both excellent people. They're both cool streamers. And they're like they've been super good to me. They raid me a whole lot, and they're always super encouraging and positive. So it was an easy decision. So it was a fun raid last night, and I appreciate you coming back for more tonight, buddy. It's very generous. What's up, Taking Over Earth? Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Well, maybe that's like advice I should take into consideration, Taking Over Earth, because I'm getting married in a week. Actually, it'll be. Let me think about this. It'll be like a week and a half, basically, like a week and a half from now. So, which is pretty weird. Well, yeah, we'll say a week and a half from now. It's a good weird. It's weird, but it's a good weird. I see you're playing a game called Different Strokes. I'm guessing this has nothing to do with a TV show. Also, Master Train, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, bud. Knights of the Night is not considered canon. Really? I just assumed that it was without any consideration of like the grand scheme of things. But I've only played this game in Morrowind, so I'm kind of a scrub when it comes to Elder Scrolls lore in general. But Jedi, you beat me to the punch. I was about to ask if anybody has a clip they'd like to share from Koala's stream. Because yeah, whenever somebody raids, I always like to ask if they have any clips to share. Because Koala just did me a solid by raiding me. The least I can do is turn the spotlight on to Koala and say, for anybody not following him, here's a little sample platter of his content. So, sounds like Jedi's gonna get us a hookup. Oh, well, thank you, Koala. You're very sweet, buddy. You're very sweet, my friend. You're very considerate. Happy to... That's why we're raiding our asses. We're raiding asses tonight, bud. Yeah, also, I'm a late night degenerate, so that probably has something to do with it, too. By the way, Johnson mentioned she got a bingo earlier, so Johnson, if you want to give us the link, or I guess send us a screenshot, too. That works, too. But, yeah, fantastic. Jedi's got a clip for us. Fantastic. Let's see. Can I ask her to stop torturing people, maybe?
I know your type. You believe yourself better than everyone
We're in the Shivering Isles main quest right now.
You persecute
That's what we're doing right now.
genius when you find it, because we are able to see around the sharp corners of your simplified morality.
Simplified morality.
I see the vast horizons of thought, while you cannot see past the tip of your own nose. I can grant the guilty the cleansing fire of retribution, so they may die purified of soul. And I can grant the worthy everlasting life. And what can you offer the world except the hot air escaping through that hole in your head?
Yeah, because we raided Koala last night. I was kind of tired, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna go raid their channel. Like, let's go have a fun time. Let's go raid them. And I went to say, let's go raid, like, their channel. Let's go raid them and just have that be the end of it. But I said, like, let's go raid their asses. Then I was like, that sounded weird. Don't raid their asses. That's creepy. But then Johnson got excited. She was like, let's raid their asses. I was like, fuck it, we're raiding asses. So that we just decided to embrace it. Got the screenshot in Discord. Fantastic. Breath of the Wild. Oh, that's right. I was actually lurking in your Breath of the Wild stream at the very, very start. And I love that game. And I've spent quite a lot of time with it, and I like it a bunch. But yeah, Different Strokes I'm curious about. Yeah, so this lady, for anybody curious, for anybody who doesn't recognize this lady, for one thing, I guess I should clarify, we're playing Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. This is my first ever playthrough. We've done everything else, but we saved the best for last. We saved the Shivering Isles DLC for last. We've done everything else, all the other base game stuff, all the other DLC. Shivering Isles is the last DLC that I saved for last because it's the best, according to everybody. And I am liking it the best. This is part of the main quest, and this lady is apparently very brilliant, but she also loves torturing people for scientific experiments and research and shit. I command you to stop. So, and she's trying to say, wow, you're so mean for making me stop torturing people. That's so fucked up.
Out of deference to my Lord Sheogorath, I will allow this outburst. In fact, I will acquiesce to your request. But only if you can prove to me the sincerity of your position and the depth of your conviction. Are you willing to trade places with these souls? To bear the full weight of their pain and afflictions? Weigh this question carefully.
So does she? Do we want to be her next experimenter or test subject? I guess. Let's fucking go for it. I've got an iron will and like 400 HP. I can fucking handle it.
Are you sure? You will not easily heal the damage done to you. This is a permanent sacrifice you are making. In fact, it is likely you will die. Perhaps you had better reconsider.
I'm determined. Can I save right now? I actually can't save right now. I was like, I'll quick save before, no problem.
Truly. Very well. I wasn't quite finished with them, but as long as you remain in Sheogorath's favor, I will not conduct experiments on these people.
The 95th percentile of... Yeah, that's right, that's right. Us fellow shorties, that's right. Because I am shorter than Koala. Yeah, because I am, as the name Super Hobbit would entail, or would imply, I am a short lad. Yeah, got the clip, yeah. Once we finish up the dialogue here, we'll check the clip. We'll also check the bingo board that Johnson got us.
Very well. This might hurt a little.
Ouch. Everything's been damaged. Everything hurts. Of course, we have all these restoration spells, so we can handle it. We look really cool, though. Oh, okay, it wore off. Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious. How do our stats look now? Not that bad. So we'll restore everything in a second. So let's do a quick save right here. It's not always very generous with maintaining the resolution, or maintaining it in such a way where it's legible. Oh, look at that, she's making new friends, new skeleton friends. Let's restore ourselves. I think a bunch of stuff got damaged a little bit earlier. Because it'd be one thing if it was drained, but the fact that it's a damage means I think it needs to manually be acquired. So agility is 84, 88, and 89. That's probably it, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so that one's easy. And then that it resets. That's kind of weird. Like, you would think, okay, now it did, yeah, but earlier it did not. That's kind of strange. I guess if you tab out and tab back in, we'll see. No, it does maintain my replacement. Sometimes it resets it to the top. That's kind of strange. So anyway, this is restore endurance. So our endurance is 80, 84, 85. Okay, so it probably just dipped it by 5 each time then. That's not so bad. Intelligence 111. Oh, it's already maxed. I guess my brain did not get damaged. No actual brain damage. I'm so disappointed. Kitty cat thinks it's cuddle time. That's correct. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I forgot you're on mobile, Johnson. Yeah, if you're on mobile, then there's probably not much you can do about it. But yeah, if possible, the link makes it a lot easier for me, because yeah, sometimes there are things that happen where it's like easy for me to check. But we did demonstrate the MS Paint strat does work. It's just a little bit silly. The Meerkat Johnson, right? The interactions are fun, yeah. I do try my darndest to read all the chat messages. I don't respond to all of them. Well, of course, when they're not directed towards me, I don't really need to respond to them, but I do try to read everything. I'm sure I do miss things sometimes, but I try my darndest. Like, my chat doesn't fly by that quickly, honestly, so it's not that hard for me, but like, you know, you watch some streamers and their chat's exploding constantly with activities, so those can be exhausting, I'm sure. 99, that one's okay. Strength is up next. Strength is 110. 114, probably 115, right? 115. Easy peasy. Willpower is the last one. I think willpower definitely got damaged. 119. 123. And 124. There we go, baby. Super bright LEDs. Oh, God. I guess it's one thing, like, if it's like a dark room and you suddenly flip it back on, Qual, and it's like, oh god, I flashbanged myself. Dear god. But if you got a migraine, oh yeah, that's no good. Yeah, migraines are awful. That's a great way to feel miserable forever. So we're all set back up. Does that mean these people are actually spared and are gonna not be murdered? Well, I'm actually like afraid of what the buttons will do. I think the buttons will kill them. Or free them. Which one's which? This one doesn't... Oh, no, but it has traps. Because, yeah, these all have traps in them. Okay, let's find out. So if I click this button... What? Oh. Well. Sorry, I thought this was empty. I thought it was... non-occupado. Oh, this was a vacant spot, but it was not. It definitely was not. All right, so we just killed somebody to death. Yeah, so as a result, I'm scared to, like, hitting these buttons because I think it'll just kill everybody horribly. In, like, different ways. I mean, they've already been killed a bunch of times, clearly. Oh, God, this man... What happened to your eyes? Oh, he has them. He just has very dark... Like, very disturbing, honestly. Jesus. Last from the optometrist. Yeah, if your vision is very blurry, I'm sure it's very frustrating being without the glasses because that sounds very uncomfortable. Was that a trap death? Yeah, well, that wasn't an enemy. That was just another NPC. But yes, we definitely saw that person fall to their death. For me, I guess I would call that a trap. Yeah, that's probably what that was. And of course, this is another studying chamber area, but there's no notes. So she wants us to fetch her the, like, several ingredients so she can make a new Gatekeeper. And I guess that means we're going... Here's a skeleton friend. Her skeleton. Donald Skeleton. This is all owned, so I'm not allowed to steal things, although I would if I could. Actually, those are shears. I don't need shears. Well, that noise. I can't sleep here because it's owned, as much as I do want to level up. Yeah, the traps are pretty fucked, honestly. They're like entertaining, but they're also like pretty fucked up. Place is very caved in. It's not a phase, Mom. Oh, needs a key. I think I have the key though, don't I? Yeah, I do. Yeah. Cats are not a phase. They are not. Cats are, or just pets in general, are just delightful. And I really did enjoy the doggy clip that Jedi shared from Koala's stream. That's so fun. And also amazing that Tycho was able to fly like that, by the way. Koala. I didn't really comment on it at the time, but that actually was very impressive. Your doggy is very talented. Sanctum of Vivisection. I think Vivisection is like... That's like cutting open a body. Or something like that. I mean, I guess that's... Or maybe I'm thinking of something else. I thought there was like a particular kind of... Like incision down into a torso or something. Like the Vivisection. Or like an autopsy or something. Dog of many talents. That's amazing. What an amazing and talented boy. So we'll go into the same entrance as before. That's what this is, right? Can I just jump over this barrier, by the way? With my superior acrobatic skills? I sure can. Even though it looks very sad and dead, as is the case with the dementia side. Demented side. $30 pump up, we fly. She's very, well, the levitation magic has to be very powerful to lift that kind of pupper. Stronglinka, and also Stronglinka Mountain, yes. Well, I was thinking like it means like levitation magic, or that Tycho's little doggy wings are very strong. It's very impressive. So the Gardens of Flesh and Bone, I think we've been there as well, but I don't think we were able to get very far. Actually, hold on. I see it is unexplored. I guess we'll find out, because when we went to Zediphen previously, it also was not explored on a map, but we'd definitely been there. And then when we entered, the map did show us being populated, so it was a little bit silly. Like, by some definitions, it was unexplored, but by others, it definitely was explored. Also, everyone's dead. Including the Grey Boys, the Grey March lads. Everything's kind of dead and sad now that the Grey March has begun, and there's this ash that permeates the land and coats the ground. It's all very sad and destitute. 3-hour nap. That's a thick nap. After a certain point, a nap stops becoming a nap, and it starts to become a big sleep. Really believe he was flying? Well, he was. He was flying. Because Koala said so in the stream, and Koala would never lie to us. Yeah, that's right. A true magician never reveals their secrets. Yes, we've been here. We were here previously because we had to source the Shambler Bones. The Shambones. To get the Shambler Bones for the first encounter with, or against, I guess, against the Gatekeeper. But of course, all these crystals are harshing the vibe, harshing the buzz. And nothing else here. Let's go and go through the main entrance. Needs a key. Yeah, because we didn't have this key earlier. Now we got that shit. 15 hours or 15 hours. A 15-hour nap. Goddamn. 15 minutes or 6 hours. 15-hour nap. One of my friends refers to instances where you take a nap without setting an alarm. Like if you take a nap after 5 p.m. without setting an alarm, that is a danger nap. That is a danger nap. Taking a nap anytime after 5 p.m. without setting an alarm. Because, like Kev said, you could end up in safe territory. 15, 30-minute power nap, no problem. You could, end getting fucking obliterated by a 5 to 6 hour nap. I've never done that. Nope, not me. No way, Jose, would that ever happen to me. Anyway, yes. It is real. It is very real. 15-hour nap. Yeah, 15-hour nap. I don't know if I've ever slept 15 hours uninterrupted before. I've definitely, like, done big sleeps where I slept, like, 8 or 9 or maybe even 10 hours. And then, like, did stuff during the day. And then, like, went to bed early. And usually in a case like that, it was probably because I was very tired. But, yes, 15 hours I don't think I've ever done. Does blood liqueur count as... Oh, alcohol. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out when we get it. Yeah, I have no idea if she's referring to, like, just a thing that is just a blood substance, or if there's, like, an actual alcoholic component to it. I guess it'll depend on what the like, effects of the substance is. Yeah, the nap lottery, though. The devil's nap. I've heard of the devil's nap as well, Jet. Yeah, the devil's nap, I guess, is, yeah, any nap after 5 p.m. I guess the devil's nap can be a non-danger nap if you set an alarm. But yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying, Jet. The devil's nap. That's fantastic. Skeletal champion. Can I turn him? Yes. Bonk. Sounded like something else hurt me. I took damage just now. Got some nice bread for sandwiches. Meerkat, hell yeah, bud. The doggies are the skin scoobies? Yes. Yeah, the skin scooberts. The skinned hounds. I can't get through there. That's a deal. It's a deal breaker right there. 21 hours up for 36. That'll do it. Yep, that'll do it. Yeah, I mean, I've done 24-hour, streamathons before where I was, like, up for, like, probably 26, maybe 28 hours because of the setup time before the stream and the wind down time afterwards. So, I mean, I've been up for pretty long periods of time, but 36 hours I've never done before. Usually what I do, what I used to do with the 24-hour marathons is I would either, like, do a big sleep afterwards, but it would usually equate to, like, maybe 9, maybe 10 hours. Like, it would usually only equate to, like, a little bit more than usual of, like, a full night's sleep. However, in the later years, when I was doing the Extra Life marathons and, like, starting to get more learned on, like, how to do it legit, what I would do is after the 24-hour marathon ended, I would take a 4-hour nap, which is a substantial nap, obviously, but I would sleep for 4 hours, and I would set an alarm, and I would force myself to get up. And then I would, and of course that would mean I was, like, getting up at around noon. Or actually, no, it was more like early afternoon. So I would, like, finish the rest of the day. I would get up at around, like, 2 or 3 p.m. after sleeping for 4 hours. You know, I would like do stuff throughout the day, you know, hang out with Gracie or just kind of take care of stuff around here. And then at nighttime, I would go to sleep at a regular time and sleep for about 6 or 7 hours, then wake up in the morning, and my sleep schedule was practically back to normal. So that's how I managed the Extra Life marathons when I was doing the 24-hour in one sitting kinds of marathons. Before the throat issues I had before my surgery. And that worked pretty well for a good couple years there, where that was like a good system that minimized the long-term effects of the Extra Life marathon and got me back on a regular sleep schedule without too much trouble. That was a pretty good one. Questionable life choices, says Meerkat. 40 side, yeah, Jesus, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, Johnson. I know Johnson says her body has been unkind to her sometimes. It's frustrating. And the 36, yeah. I'll do you one better. I remember Arctic. I don't know if Arctic is listening in, but one of my mods, Arctic Reverse, we were talking about hibernations. You know, how some animals will sleep for the winter, and he was saying how he was like, man, I don't know about you guys, but I would love to be able to sleep for 3 months uninterrupted and have it not be considered a like a health emergency. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's identifiable. Thornhook. Sleep three months uninterrupted and have it not be considered, yeah, a medical event. So I see there's, oh, I guess there's several things we're seeking, right? There's one, there's two. Actually, I guess there's several directions. Yeah, these both lead to different areas, I think. Oh, I guess we'll go this one first. Here's the spikies. It's a bunch. These friends. I've never been able to one-shot these fools. Seems like they take more damage to spells if they don't reflect them, and they just reflected both. I should probably repair my stiff. I shall repair my stiff. And then break several hammers. I need to buy more hammers. We started the stream with 11. I broke 7 hammers today. Goddamn. You want to pick them for the ingredients? Yeah. Just walk up to them and like click them and just have them automatically end up in your pocket. Morrowind had something similar. Although Morrowind was a little bit weird because each plant was considered a container. So you'd have to like click and drag the reagents from the container of the plant into your inventory. It was kind of nice, but it was also a little bit weird and kind of monotonous having to do that kind of inventory management. But there were mods that make the harvesting of materials more of a one-click function, much like how they work in this game, and probably Skyrim too, for that matter. So that area is a dead end. That's where we came from, yes. So instead, we go this way. We go down, descending into the depths of madness. Normalize not leaving the bed. Well, I guess it's one thing to like not leave your bedroom or like not leave the bed for 3 months, but yeah, to be asleep for that much time, to be unconscious for that much time, god damn. Ridiculous. Starts to infect your life. Seeing the chest moves IRL. You've probably seen, like a lot of us have. Excuse me. Like a lot of us have, you've probably seen the Queen's Gambit. So like in those first couple episodes, especially when she's looking at the ceiling and envisioning the chess moves. That's what I'm envisioning right now with the way Koala described it. Sorry, I'm gross. I'm gross, by the way. No one look at me. There's also the Tetris effect. It's like an actual honest-to-goodness name where people describe the sensation of when somebody... Whoa, shit. When someone shits loudly. No, when someone plays Tetris for like a fuck ton amount of time, and when they close their eyes, they can like see the blocks moving, and when they like look at an object, they envision the blocks, and they envision stacking them in such a pleasant and fulfilling way so as to clear the lines. It's called the Tetris effect. So yeah, that's like the chess effect. I get that with Tetris Attack. I'm not really much of a Tetris guy, but I do love me some Tetris Attack. or Pokemon Puzzle League for the more intellectual members of the audience. But yeah, it's good shit. Very, very fun. Seeing it in traffic. Oh yeah, yeah, there you go. That's actually a good one too. Yeah, because the way the grid is like how traffic usually resembles a grid, and of course chess moves in a grid. Minesweeper patterns too. Keepixa, yeah. That's a good one too, actually. What about Fallout in your dreams? Yeah, that, well, I mean, I guess it depends. We're talking like OG, like turn-based RPG Fallout, that's one thing. Although if I'm dreaming about Fallout, like, you know, nuclear Fallout, then it might just be a sign I'm just having a not very good dream, honestly. Yeah, you alright, Popper? Fuck. Oh, the dog's dead, okay. He's like just stuck in the wall. Very silly. Sinus infection. Oh, right, the sinus, right, yes, that whole saga. Antibiotics, right, yeah. So yeah, different meds. Yeah, it's a whole journey Johnson has been on. Now we got the one shot. Well, it was kind of a one shot. The sword didn't like do enough to kill, but the fire damage from the sword killed. That's why the dead body just went like, ooh, as opposed to going like, well, as opposed to like going the direction, like following the vector of the sword attack. Instead of doing that, he just kind of flopped. Because normally if you kill a bad guy, the dead body will follow the vector of the weapon you're swinging. But yeah, because he didn't die from the sword, he died from the fire damage, so it was just a static fire damage, so no direction or velocity applied. Yeah, I never get verbose. That's a great thing about being a Twitch streamer. You're able to indulge your worst verbosity. You can just fucking talk. And whether or not there are people there to listen, you can just fucking talk, and you have all reason to do so. I've had conversations with people who want to get into streaming, and they talk about how weird it is streaming to nobody. When you're starting out, obviously, you know, when you're starting out, you know, it takes a while to build up an audience. And they were like, well, it's so disheartening because, you know, I want people to be here. It's like there's nobody to talk to if there's no one here, so I just sit there quietly, and it's awkward. It's like, well, you kind of got to get comfortable with like kind of talking at yourself and kind of commentating yourself. It's a weird thing to do, but just kind of got to get comfortable with that. So it's like I would say that streamers and YouTubers, just content creators in general, are incentivized to like get comfortable with that kind of skill of just yammering and maybe not yammering just unintelligibly, but dictating what you're doing, commentating and voicing your thoughts and kind of keeping things flowing. Like not just being a freaking, you know, not just rattling off, you know, giving yourself time to breathe, obviously, but yeah, keeping things flowing. That's the tricky part. Yo, Ninja Zombie, what's up, bud? Thank you, Ninja Zombie. Very generous. Very kind with that raid. Thank you, my friend. That's very sweet. It is bonkers, yeah. Got the balloons. Oh yeah, one of my friends got that too, Johnson, yeah. Yeah, the balloon sinuplasty. That's a big one. I mean, it's not a hugely invasive surgery, but apparently it's like the recovery is kind of uncomfortable, obviously. But it did work though. That's good. That's good. Ninja Zombie, how you doing today, by the way? Also, Elgalis beat me to the punch. He beat me to it. I was gonna see what Ninja Zombie was up to, doing some Ace Attorney. Fantastic. That's awesome, bud. No gauze. Just don't blow your nose and hope for the best. And also don't sneeze, which is a tall order because, you know, if you got cats, if you're anything like me, of course I'm allergic to it, so of course I sneeze when I'm around cats, but even in general, like even for people that aren't allergic to cats, they will still sneeze when exposed to just copious cat fur. Cat dander. Oh yeah, exactly, Koala. Just feel better, forehead. Ninja Zombie, how was your stream, by the way? How are you liking Phoenix Wright? I was watching Grovana play some Phoenix Wright earlier, actually. I don't know if I think you probably are part of Grovana's community, because yeah, I was watching him earlier. And I was reminded how I need to play those games, because I think I would really like them. Hope you're enjoying them as well. The sinus killers. I would say they don't kill my... Oh, yes, because sinus goes. I thought you said allergy killers. It's like, well, they definitely don't kill my allergies. They feed them. Yeah, killing sinus is also accurate. So not allergic. That's good. That's good, yeah. Because like I said, I know people that aren't allergic but still sneeze in the presence of, like, you know, medium to large amounts of cat fur. Bonk. Give me your void essence. I need it for experimentation. Objection! Don't want to spoil. Yeah, same, Ninja. I was watching GV for a little bit, but I only stayed for like 5 or 10 minutes because I was like, I want to play these games myself and I don't want them spoiled. Are you in the... There's like the trilogy, right? Are you playing like the one that's on Steam? Because, you know, there's the trilogy that's on Steam, then there's the Apollo Justice games, I think, which I've heard are good. But, like, it seems like most people like the original trilogy the most. Then there's the DS games, and there's, like, some spin-offs, so it's a bunch. There's a lot of really cool games. Ooh, this looks like something. Something important. I'm not gonna bother with that, but yeah, we need to get into this stuff. Can I just drop down? There's a monster. Let's kill the monster first. Can I stay hidden? Yes, I do. And I'll take your void essence. I don't need it, but I'll take it. Sure, a lot of these lads in this area, aren't there? I'm not gonna bother with either of those. Yes, turn around and expose your booty so I can slap it. They just have a 100% reflection rate. Because these guys reflect a lot of things. It's shocking. Shocking, especially given the fact that I'm hitting them with electric damage. Took them a while to diagnose it, Johnson. Yeah, it sounds frustrating. Shivering Isles dungeons. Yeah, there's a few of them that have been pretty thick. This one is also quite expansive. It has not messed around. Let's see if we can loop back around and capture that one reagent standard way. The way it was meant to be played. So he didn't reflect that one. Ouch. Fourth case. Fantastic. Yeah, I've heard there's some real legit and really, like, amazing plot points and plot twists and just really cool story shenanigans throughout that entire series. So, yeah, if you're playing it for the first time, Ninja Zombie, I don't know the details, but I get the impression you're in for a real good time, bud. People getting their issues. Like, yeah, it is an honest-to-goodness problem. And I can't pretend to know how frustrating it is. Lots of fun ones, yeah. Yeah, because there's the trilogy on Steam. I don't think the Apollo Justice games are on Steam. Even if those aren't considered as good as the original trilogy, apparently they're still worth playing. There's also the DS games, but I don't think the DS games are available anywhere except for just having a Nintendo DS and playing them there. So, of course, there's emulators, obviously, but I know that it's... To some, it's not quite the same. Dermis membrane. Can I take more? Can I take more so I can, like, bring him back to that one lady? I cannot take more. Okay, that can't be selfish. Get the membranular dermal shenanigans. And right now we only have one other thing down south. I'm guessing there's, like, more zones, more interior zones. And I was hoping that would actually one-shot him. Wishful thinking. Like a skull flops off. That's satisfying. Oh, I've heard of that too. Yeah, I've heard of people doing that, like bringing their husbands or their dads or their partners with them to doctor's appointments. It's like it's an unfortunate symptom of, like, you know, the state of what some doctors are able to offer their patients when it's like, this is what's needed to, like, get proper attention and proper care. It's unfortunate and probably fucking beyond infuriating. More like the derp is membrane. I have lots of that. I have lots of derp in my membrane, let me tell you. I got that shit Unlock. Skeleton. Hello. Oh, look at that. He's got glass weaponry. I haven't seen that in a minute. Skeleton Guardians. Skeleton Champions. Skeleton Guardian. Look at that. More skeleton friends. It's a skeleton orgy. The Bone Zone. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, there he is. He like suddenly fell forward. I'm gonna turn you away. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my face. I need more mergicers. Woo! There goes the skull. Skeletonception. Dwarven gear and glass gear. Yeah, throwback, man. Base game stuff right there. Well, I guess there really hasn't been much for, like, new equipment. I guess there's the Gromite weaponry, which was not very good. And then there was the Golden Saint weaponry and then the Dark Seducer weaponry, which is also, just okay. It's not very good. It's not as good as Daedric or Glass. So I can't really hold up a candle. Machines, yeah, bone machine building bone machines. Bone zones building bone zones. Boners building boners, let's call it that. Dead. A poof of mist, of icy, frosty mist. Too disgusting to... No, I mean, of course, it's, you know, it's obviously very personal stuff, too, but yeah, medical stuff is frustrating, and having to navigate the U.S. healthcare system can be a fucking nightmare. I mean, I recognize other countries that got issues with their medical healthcare systems, too, but the U.S. is unique insofar as, you know, you get just about anybody else in any, you know, modernly aware and capable country. And like, and you know, you tell them some of the horror stories that some of the folks in the United States have to deal with their to get medical care, and like, you know, how much it costs and how and just all the hoops you have to jump through with insurance. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, really? Aren't you guys like the wealthiest country in the world? Like, why is this such a problem for you guys? And it's like, yeah, we're just fucking horrible. That's what it is. We got problems, man. Gonna get CCI. What's CCI stand for? Kitty cat cuddles, or no, cat cuddle insomnia. Not being allowed to sleep because the cat's too comfortable. It's extinguished 2 lives today. Zomboid, nice, man. Oh yes, yeah. Actually, yeah. She rang the bell. I think it was like 2 months ago at this point. So it's not super, like, it's you know, kind of old news at this point. And everything's been fine so far, but yeah, I appreciate the kind words, Meerkat, because yeah, we've been pretty confident it was gonna be all right, because she caught it so early. But you know, still, that stuff's scary, and she's 73, so you know, she's not a young lady, so anything along those lines is always scary. But it's especially scary, you know, as we all get older, of course. Give the zappies, bam, the zappies. Had to do your own research. Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably out of necessity too. Had problems in Australia. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's definitely issues in other countries when it comes to, you know, issues with getting medical care, because it is expensive and it is complicated. But America seems uniquely positioned to especially fumble the bag. It's shocking, and appalling. I'll take the osseous marrow. Yes, please. Slurp the marrow from the bones. That is only, I think, half the things. I think we have 2 other objects to acquire. Durable Daedric War Axe. I guess durable is like a new modifier for some weapons and some equipment. It's like there's some new things to the expansion, but the item, the things that are like added for items is only like kind of interesting. The stuff that's most interesting is the story and the quests. That's the stuff that keeps me coming back. Coming back for more. Cranio survey. Oh, okay. I got you. Related to the tendon stuff? Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Deeply unfun. Oh, it opened for me. Thank you. How courteous. Bone marrow removed. That's a badass, yeah. Yeah, no, that's very, I'm glad she went through with that, Meerkat, because, yeah, I've heard people say that, oh, did it close behind me? Did. Because, yeah, I've heard people say that, yeah, bone marrow, I guess extraction, or, like, having a bone marrow sample removed is apparently, like, horribly unpleasant to experience, to endure. And like I said, yeah, people with like normally very high pain tolerances are still like, ooh, shit's scary and spicy. So I'm glad she went through with it. Meerkat, I'm glad she was able to stomach it, because yeah, some people can't handle it, man. That shit sounds awful. Like you said, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Wouldn't wish that shit on my worst enemy. Need to explain to the cat. Yes, just use diplomacy. Cats are very good at diplomacy. They definitely understand the words we say. I like to think they understand the words we say. It's a question of will they choose to acknowledge them, or will they choose to ignore them? Rather, it's like, will they be like, all right, I know what you want me to do. I just will refuse to acquiesce to your requests. Ravenous hunger has been ravened to death. Knocked out if possible. Actually, it would be nice too, honestly, if you could be unconscious for it. Maybe they can't for some reason. I don't know. It's a good question. The blood. So yeah, if it's, I was thinking the same thing. If it's bone marrow, it could be like, yeah, blood stuff. Grace's dad had something similar a couple years ago. But no, I'm like I said, I'm glad that your mom is going through with the treatments and the tests, Meerkat. So hope everything turns out well for both of you, for the matter, because that shit is stressful. No, I understand. No, I think I know what you're getting at, because like I said, I know a few people who've gone through similar experiences. And yeah, it can be scary. It absolutely can be. But no, I'm glad that she's attacking it, and that sounds like she's got some docs that are able to help her through it, which is good. Medical stuff's scary, man. I mean, you know, like what's the term? You know, life is an experience that none of us will ever survive. Like, you know, none of us are getting out of it alive, so I mean, it's inevitable, but still, medical stuff is anxiety inducing. Get her a doggy or a kitty cat. I mean, that's just always, in my very selfish opinion, always a good idea, but you know, not everyone sees it that way, but you'll get no complaints from me, Johnson. My torch ran out. Am I dipping down into the less than 200 torches? Also, I'm almost out of hammers. Repair hammers. I am less than 200 torches. I'm so destitute with torches. Destitutorch. Remember when I started this game? Oh, thank you. So courteous. Yeah, and of course. Started this game and I was like struggling to keep up with lockpicks, and I was struggling to keep up with torches. Not so much anymore. Now I've got more torches and lockpicks than I can shake a torch or a lockpick at. He's like, who goes there? Blech. It's all in your head, Koala. That's right, yeah, I remember Koala said that, yes, sometimes the anxiety gets you when it comes to medical stuff. Dude, no lie, man. I used to have real bad anxiety when oh man, I get to hit Koala was when I was back in my day when I was your age. I know I had similar anxiety, like medical anxiety. I had a really bad panic attack when I was 22, 23. I would have been 22, and I had never had a panic attack before, and I thought it was a heart attack. I thought my heart was like fucking exploding, and it was terrifying. And it wasn't, and my heart was, and hopefully still is, fairly healthy. But I had this, like, it planted this fear in the back of my mind that I could just drop dead from my heart stopping working. Like, what if I have some super rare, fucked up thing and my heart's just gonna stop working and I'm gonna die, you know, super young. And I had this anxiety it would keep me up at night. It was real bad. And I probably went to my doctor. I tried really hard not to do it too much, but yeah, I probably saw him, like, 3 or 4 times, like more than necessary, you know. And he was always really reassuring. I'm very fortunate. I have a very good doctor, and he knows his shit, and he's also like, He has the patience of a saint, because he's dealt with my shit for 11 years now. I've had him for 11, actually 12 years. I've had him for 12 years. And he's done a very good job on tolerating my bullshit. But no, I recognize that shit, man. I recognize, like, you get it in your head, and you know it's in your head, but still, it's like that anxiety just kind of gets planted in there, and it's hard to get it out. It's a lot better for me. I still have some anxiety, but it's not nearly as bad. And I've found like ways to manage it a lot better than it was back in those days. Cause yeah, that shit's scary, man. That shit's real scary. Also, Retro Gamer, what's up, buddy? Your neighbor Ivan. I hope your neighbor Ivan is not suffering any kind of like circulatory problems that causes his face to swell and look so swollen and have a. Actually, here, I'll give you the side profile, because the side profile, well, and also the hair. Hopefully, his hair is less, you know, shiny and greasy, and yeah, his cranium doesn't have this weird bulge, and he doesn't have this like hook nose and this fucking chin that is this bulbous shape. It's like his face is this like crescent shape to it. Yeah, I'm sorry for Ivan too. Yeah, it's like hopefully he doesn't feel how this character looks too, because he looks very sad. Hence the name. Hence the name Sadge Maroon. Just eat the. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, Meerkat. Like if I order a thing at a restaurant, they give me the wrong order, I don't fucking care. I'll eat it. I don't mind. Unless I'm like, as long as it's something I'm not allergic to. But I don't really have any food allergies that I'm aware of, at least. So, ooh. Every time I pause, it's like, oh Jesus, jump scare every time. Put that back on. Let's also save. I haven't saved in a minute, which is the recipe for disaster sometimes. But no, I'm in the same way though, Meerkat. Yeah, or they fuck up my order at the restaurant. I'm not gonna send it back, as long as it's not like dangerous, not like a, you know, undercooked meat or something. The hero, that's right. We're the hero of Kvatch. We're the champion of Cyrodiil. We're the savior of. We're the archmage of the Mages Guild. We're the head of the Dark Brotherhood, Thieves Guild, Fighters Guild. We're all these great things, but our guy looks so fucked up. Pitying such a fella. That's right. It affects the people. Yeah, that was something I had too, Koala. Like, I remember I was like doing research about the symptoms that I had, and I like landed on a message board where a lot of people were talking about anxiety and like medical anxiety that they were experiencing, and a lot of people were like basically like just kind of maybe not commiserating, but just having shared experiences, like sharing their experiences and what helps, what doesn't help. Chamomile tea helps me. I like almonds. I like blueberries, like things that like kind of give a soothing effect. And yeah, I had the same thing. I was like, I found that immersing myself in like, maybe not immersing, it's not the right word, but like trying to seek out accounts of other people made me feel better. Cause like, okay, maybe I'm not so fucked up. Cause I think that's part of it too. Like the anxiety, it's like a snowballing effect. Like you know, it's like for me at least, it's like I knew what I was anxious about was irrational, and it made me feel bad for feeling irrational, and then it made me feel bad for being a fuck up, and then being a fuck up made me more anxious. So it's like this cycle that can just lead you into a, you know, a downward spiral, obviously. So yeah, like I can absolutely identify with that, where it's like just sometimes hearing other accounts or just, you know, talking about it with a therapist or just with anyone willing to listen can really be be a game changer, honestly. So yeah, totally understandable. Never seen without the hood. Yeah, the hood, dude. I mean, the fucking hair with this motherfucker right here. I mean, I love how it gave us an option to have him be balding and have a mohawk, and of course the shiny fucking Cheeto dust, greasy ass sheen on this man's hair. What's not to love, man? So good, bud. So good. A viewer one day with these exact features. I'll feel so bad for them, for him or her, if or when that day were to come, Mr. Jet, because I wouldn't wish this on anybody. We're all beautiful, we're all unique, you know, we're all individuals, we all our bodies are our own, and you know, standards of beauty are different for everybody, obviously. But I wouldn't wish anybody to suffer what Sadge has suffered all his life. We're the Duke of Mania. That's right, we're the Duke of Mania. So many impressive titles. That's right. Some random picture just decided. Yeah, I promise it wasn't intentional, Retro Gamer, but I'll take full credit, responsibility. I'll take full ownership of this strange man we've created in this video game. they would have figured it. That's right. That's a good point too, Johnson. If they would have figured it out sooner, then yeah, it sounds like it would have been much less of an issue for you. Also, if we just follow the breath, it'll lead us to where we need to go. So we can't go anywhere else anyway. Yeah, that's one thing too, like getting early diagnosis on those kinds of medical problems is nice, because obviously as we go through puberty, as our bodies grow, if we grow into having, you know, connective tissue issue like Johnson was describing, then yeah, that makes perfect sense. It would cause a lot of problems later on in life. Alright, they've found me. The hungers. The ravenous hungers. These look pretty fucked up, don't they? Very nightmarish creatures. Not particularly strong. They're very fucked up looking. And believe me, I definitely know what is fucked up looking in this game. YouTube videos of that makes sense, Meerkat. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Just because it's soothing, it's like soothing and kind of satisfying. Yeah, that makes perfect sense when it comes to like a thing to kind of help take your brain off things and give you some calming kind of comfort. Good marketing. That's right. Yeah, we'll say it's accidental marketing. I'm sure Ivan is a handsome gentleman. Oh god, look, our eyes looked extra fucked up there. I'm sure he's a handsome gentleman who only barely resembles this goofy character. I'm sure his complexion is not as purple and his face is not as wide and swollen. I'm sure Ivan's a perfectly normal dimension gentleman. An overpowered god, that's right. Us or Ivan, or I guess both, maybe both. Little kitty cat smells. I kind of get it, because that's how I feel about dog smells. I know some people think like, oh, dogs are stinky, but like, I don't know. I think dog smell is like, it's something I can appreciate. Wait until it's in the bottle. Okay. It's endearing. Essence of breath. It was like we were following the exhalations, or I guess inhalations rather, because it was being drawn in. This is the breath of Ivan. Yeah, man, that's what this is. This is the breath of Ivan. There you go. Oh, that's sweet, Meerkat. No, that's very considerate, Meerkat. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of people in the chat right now that have dealt with it in some degree at least. So yeah, that's very considerate, bud. Now, I always try to, I try to like keep my DMs open. I always tell people, yeah, my DMs are open. I try to keep my email, you know, I try to check on my email on a fairly regular basis. Of course, you know, I always never want to overpromise, just because, you know, we all have our own lives and whatnot. But I do try to, you know, I do try to answer, you know, if people ever have questions, or if based on any things I've talked about today, anxiety, panic attacks, my mother's brush with cancer. Like, you know, I'm happy to talk about those things. I can't guarantee, you know, perfect and immediate reactions, obviously, especially because I'm getting ready to get married. We got a pretty big vacation coming up, so you know, we've all got our own stuff, but it is nice to take time to, you know, to at least hear someone out, at least listen, you know, and offer some encouragement. It's not much, obviously, and sometimes that's all we can offer, you know. Sometimes it's the only tool at our disposal, but it's good. It's good to at least provide whenever possible. Dog smells like happiness. That's right. Yes, dog smells like happiness. That's how Dexter Man smells. He is sleeping right now, very soundly. I don't want to wake him up, but he's a good boy. Good little sneaky dog, little sleepy doggy boy. He is a gentleman. That's what counts. That's what counts, Retro. Yeah. If he comes in the chat, Retro, I'll say you said only nice things, and you did say a nice thing. You said he's a gentleman, which is very generous. Yeah, if it's your own, it's very comforting. Yeah, I would agree. What's left, by the way? She said... 1, 2, 3. I think I just have one left, don't I? Blood liqueur. We have the marrow. The dermis, we got the dermis. Essence of breath, got the essence. Just got one thing left. Ugly Sadge, we are OP. We are an OP demigod. The combat god. Yeah, we're not the charisma god. We're more of an Athena than we are an Aphrodite. Let's put it that way. Bite the kitty cats back. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing about cats. Sometimes they get bitey when they get excited. Smell like corn chips, right? Yeah. I know their pawsies can smell like corn chips sometimes, which I don't think is necessarily like it's like a bacterial thing, but I don't think it's like a horrible infection. I think it's like a fairly standard thing. But yeah, if it's really bad, if it's like super noteworthy, then yeah, it might be an infection on the skin or elsewhere. The doggy smell. If the animal smells sweet, I've never heard of that, but it kind of makes sense though. How long until the wedding? So the wedding itself will be the 27th, but we leave for the trip for said wedding in a week. We actually leave a week from today. So this time next week we will be in Hawaii, and then the 27th is that Friday. So we got about a week and a half. We can end some change. Welcome back, Blackbird. We got the Hunger fellas. That's right, the little Hunger buddies with their weird fucking faces. Look at how Ivan does. Well, I mean, this guy hasn't. I mean, our character, he's been okay. Although I guess our guy was in prison at the start of the game. The guy and our protagonist here, he was in prison at the start of the game, so we don't actually know much about our character's life before the events of this game. But retro gamer says, well, the IRL Ivan had a tough go of it previously. Hopefully he's in a better place now, though. It's a fungus thing. Okay. Look at that death landing. That death landing for the ragdoll effect. Yeah, if it's feet, it's normal. If it's everywhere else, yeah, I think that's exactly it. Yeah. As if it's extra bad. So let's see. We need to go south, right? Yeah, we gotta go south. Go south for the winter. It is after 2 a.m. We gotta get this last reagent, then we gotta wrap up for the night. It is late. God damn. I'll let time get away from me. There's a lot to do in this game, and a lot of questing, a lot of adventuring. So it's always like that temptation to just keep going. But it's like, damn, I got shit to do, and sleeps to be had for the morn. Buttered popcorn. I remember Gracie and I made, we were making some kind of dish, and she made some rice, and she used a little bit too much butter, and the rice, wouldn't boil in the rice. And for anybody curious, yes, we don't always butter our rice, when we're making it, but sometimes it's like an extra little indulgence. It's like kind of fun. But she put a little bit too much in there one time, and it smelled like buttered popcorn. And she was like, "This is fucking me up, man. I can't eat this rice." I ate it. I was like, "This is great," but she was like, "I'm not expecting buttered popcorn rice, man. It's weird." Streaming from Hawaii. You know what? I would if I could, if I had like a better IRL streaming setup, but I really don't. So I won't bother. But man, I would if I had like a legit setup for it. To be honest, I think that'd be a lot of fun. I wouldn't stream the wedding. I mean, as also fun as that is to imagine. Wow, Jesus. Why'd I hit that switch? What the fuck's wrong with me? What about this one? That button collapses the ceiling. Why do you have a button for that? That's so weird. If I press it again, will more ceiling collapse? No. Okay. It's so fucked up, man. Yeah, of course I have a desktop computer. I don't have a laptop. Gracie has a laptop, and it's a pretty beefy laptop. So she could maybe stream. We could maybe stream from her laptop, but yeah, I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna bother with the streams as much as I would love to. Koala, give him the sub. Oh, give the sub to Johnson. Thank you, Koala. It's so nice. Thank you very much, Mr. Koala, for that very kind raid. That's so sweet. Very, very considerate. Koala's gifted many subs over the past week or so. Yeah, 3 subs. That's right, 3 subs. That's so nice, man. Thank you, Koala. That's far and above and beyond what I would ever ask of anybody. You're too kind, bud. Just stop sticking. That's yeah. But where's the fun in that, Elgaso? Clean up the kitchen after spilling too much popcorn. There we go. Yeah, that's the explanation. So it's an honest to goodness real thing. So there's an actual reason. Oh, I thought so I actually didn't realize that you were being legit. So there's like an honest to goodness reason for it then, yeah. No, I thought we were memeing. I didn't think it was a real thing. This is news to me. Doors opened elsewhere. Oh. Well, ain't that a bother. I've hit a few... Oh, here we go. It's probably the switch. I'm like looking for stuff to fucking collapse into my asshole, but no, everything's fine. Who resets the... Yeah, whose job is it to put the ceiling back together for the one-time trap that fires? Who's gonna take care of doggy and kitty cats? So kitty cats will be taken care of by Gracie's roommate, soon to be my roommate as well. And of course, kitty cats are like relatively self-sustaining, so as long as they have food, and as long as they have you know, their litter box cleaned up from time to time, they'll be fine. Dexter will be with my dad for the entirety of our trip, and my dad has watched Dexter lots and lots of times. My dad's always very considerate and like very generous, because he's always like, I mean, he's doing me a favor watching Dexter, because Dexter's old. He has to take some medicine on a daily basis because he's got some eye stuff, some heart stuff. That's what happens when you're a 13-year-old dog, is you got health stuff and medicine to keep up with. So, but my dad handles it all in stride, and he's always very good-natured about it. You know, I've offered to pay him. I honestly have. He wants nothing of it, because he loves watching Dexter. Like me, he loves dogs. So whenever I talk to my dad, he's always like, "Hey man, you got any trips coming up so I can watch Dexter?" He treats it as if I'm doing him a favor, but he is very much doing me a favor. So he'll be watching Dexter dog, and he's a very experienced dog watcher. It's his grand dog after all, so it makes sense. There's the blood liqueur. Return the stuff to Romia. What's her name? Romina? I know Johnson was asking if it is an actual liqueur. I think it is not. I think it is probably just a reagent and not a drinkable substance. Actually, it might not even be in that tab at all. Here we go. Yeah, so it's definitely nothing we can equip or use or drink or consume. The torty's name is Shayna. Yeah, I was telling Gracie how, like, whenever I see a picture of a tortoiseshell kitty cat, I don't think to myself, oh, it's a torty. I think, oh, it's a Shayna. Shayna's a good girl. She's a good kitty cat. She's a big old sweetie. Ferret is a little shitstarter because he's the younger, more troublemaking rapscallion, but Shayna's a sweetie. Looking out for the homies. Well, you yourself are a homie, Koala. From one homie to another. It takes one to know one. Call of Cthulhu, yes. Well, I played the original Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth, the one that released on the original Xbox. I've not played the newer one, though. There was a new Call of Cthulhu game that came out a couple years ago, and I've heard it's pretty good. But I've not played that one. That's right, John. I believe in you, Johnson. One day, fam, you'll get there. Vinegar, cheese, yeah. But the corn chips is one thing, yeah. And then rotten things, ooh. It's endearing, yeah. I mean, I love dogs. I pretty much like all animals. I'm especially vulnerable to any animal that is small and cute and fluffy. But yeah, pretty much all animals I'm down for. But I would say dogs are, if forced to choose, yeah, I'm a dog person more than I'm a cat person. But Dexter's an old man. He's an endearing old man. He's a little gentleman, little gentle dog. Now this is not a gentle dog. This is a mean dog. What he said. The opposite of how, yeah, I was gonna say, Jet, I can fully understand and identify with being like, well, maybe I can have a hands-off approach and be like, nope, dogs are great. I want to be involved. Is it gonna be spikies? Ouch. It did stab me a little bit. Just a little bit of stabbing. Ah, for little gain. Yeah, Shayna. Yeah, she's a good little buddy. She's a little sweet kitty cat. Something spicy. Yeah, she was named, I think her mom named Shayna years ago when they first adopted her. She is, I want to say, I think she's probably close to Dexter's age. She's probably like 12 or 13. She's getting up there in age. She's older. She's not like old, but she's getting up there for sure. Play the new one. Yeah, I would like to play the new one. The original one was good, but it was a very glitchy game, and it was extremely hard to play. Like, this game has glitches for sure, but yeah, that game is like borderline unplayable in a lot of parts. It was good though. I'm glad I finished it. It was just kind of rough around the edges. I think we go this way, or do we go? Oh, we go. Okay, actually, just follow the marker. Overcomplicating things. Follow the marker. Turn my brain off and follow the markers. Just make it easy. 5%, easy, easy, Johnson. It's so simple. You're like 5% is pretty much 50% up. I mean, we can round up to 50. And if you round up to 50%, we all know that you know 5 rounded up to rounds up to 10. So that means you're pretty much at 100% the way there, Johnson. You're pretty much done. We've emerged, by the way. Spent a long time in the dungeon. That was a thick fucking dungeon, man. We were there for a minute. Armor skill increased, but we've burned through 10 hammers in a single day. God damn. That is a lot. That's right, that's right. We do have some fun utilizations of them. Sometimes Johnson spends some fun points. Fun pointies. There's a reference. Yes, the Hackdirt quest. Yeah, the Hackdirt quest line was really cool. Well, not a quest line, but the Hackdirt quest was really cool. Because yes, that was that whole thing was a reference to Shadow over Innsmouth, which is a significant part of the original Call of Cthulhu game. Probably also the Nuke game. It's probably very much intentional.
Everything is gone. What a shame.
What a shame.
Goodbye.
But yeah, the Hackdirt quest was awesome, and I didn't really pick up. Well, I picked up on the fact that it was a Lovecraft reference, but I remember my friend Dan pointed out that all the enemies' eyes are gigantic, like extra big, which is a reference to the Dagon worshippers, being that they're all like they're physically mutated. You know, when the protagonist first arrives, and like it's visible, but it's kind of uncanny. And I went back and looked at the footage, and sure enough, it was pretty sweet. Anybody redeemed? Yes, yes, somebody has redeemed wide text nice. At least we've had at least one redeem, maybe 2. Oh, the game just crashed. You know what? That's okay. The game just crashed. It's the 3rd crash of the night. I think I'm gonna actually call it here because it is, Jesus, it is almost 2:30. I gotta wrap it up because this stream went late, but that's okay because it was a good time. We made a lot of great progress and had a lot of cool conversations, a lot of cool chat activities. So yeah, this was a really good time.